Before the exercise began, some media houses were doing the cleanup in their various jurisdictions, and if not because the president was leading us and we needed to follow the vice president to Nungwa Krowo and the president to Alajo and Chado, I even wanted to go to the various premises to even commend them, but because it's already late, let me take this medium to thank all the various media houses who extensively cleaned their frontages, showcasing this to Ghanaians, and I think if we continue like that, it will go a long way to help us. Then the environmental service providers, in fact, both the public and the private, they were outstanding. The logistics were supplied. The trucks were brought. Even the equipment to take the vehicles from the drains, all those equipment were supplied. It means in Ghana, we have the solution and we have the logistics. So if we have the leadership, and I believe with what we've begun, if we don't relent or if we don't stop, we will be able to get to where we want to take the country to. Then my colleague ministers, I could see the Minister for Gender, the Minister for Finance, the Deputy Minister for Defense, everybody going left, right, center. Sanitation and cleanliness is a shared responsibility. Our participation has been outstanding. That being said, let me still take the opportunity to thank the MMDCs. In fact, from 29th to date, most of them have still not slept. And I believe that is what leadership demands. They must continue to be in that mode. What I want to say is that yesterday we made a promise that today and tomorrow all the transfer stations and all sanitation facilities are operating 24/7. And we have the 24-hour economy manifesto in our manifesto. So once you say you are working 24/7, I know the media houses are going to be checking around the transfer stations and around the various places. So I'm reminding the MMDCs, Krowo, Teshi, Achimota, Malan Junction, Abukobi, they are all watching you. Make sure that all the rubbish that were hit, the trucks will come and clear them to those transfer stations for free. All Aboboya and tricycles that are taking waste to the transfer station today and tomorrow is for free. So don't keep waste in your dustbins in your houses. Today and tomorrow, all the transfer stations are opened free of charge. So make sure that if you have waste, you call Aboboya or tricycle for them to come and take it to the nearest transfer station. So don't let us finish today and tomorrow and those things will still be there and people will be lambasting us. So based on that, I'm also using the same medium to remind the executive chairman of Josmon Group of Companies. He promised the vice president, and I heard it, that Your Excellency, this Nungwa that we are seeing, by Sunday it will be cleared, or by today it will be cleared. Did he say today or Sunday? Today. When I came to the office, my wife called me that they are calling her that the people have come out in their numbers and there are heaps dotted everywhere. So Krowo MCE, get in touch with the one who made the promise to make sure all those things are clear. The same goes to almost all the MMDCs. If it is 1 o'clock and people have closed, you cannot close. But they came out to help us. So go around to see that all the desilted gutters, the sand that were put on the edges will not remain there till tomorrow. The meteo people are saying that it may rain 30%. So all that we have done, if it rains, they will get back into the gutter. Then what have we done? Please and please, this is what we want to remind ourselves of. Achimota Waste Transfer Station is still open 24/7. Ashama Waste Transfer Station is still open 24/7. Pantan Waste Transfer Station is still open 24/7. Tashi Waste Transfer Station is still open 24/7. Integrated Recycling and Compost Plant at Kolebu is still open 24/7. Accra Compost and Recycling Plant ACAP is still open 24/7 at Kaneshie. Adipa Engineer Landfill Site is still open 24/7. Enkon Engineered Landfill Site is still open 24/7. Based on this, we don't expect anybody to send, or any tricycle to send waste to Weja or McCarthy Hill to go and be dumping refuse in any unengineered landfill site. Because these are the things, when it rains, it will take it back to us here. We are discouraging that, and that is why all those facilities are opened 24/7 for today and tomorrow. I heard the Crow MCE telling the Vice President that likely today we are happy the fertilizer transfer station is open, so we'll send everything there. It is open and it is free. So if you go and sleep and tomorrow the owner closes it, you will be in trouble. And that is why we don't want to lose this chance. On that note, may I take this opportunity to show deep appreciation to our media partners. In fact, you have been super. And your education, sensitization, and orientation has been part of the turnout that you saw today. This shows that we agreed on what we are doing, and that's why we are achieving what we want to achieve. Thank you very much, and may God bless us. Unless one chief director wants me to continue, but I believe you want me to continue. I could see that we saw evidence of the turnout of traditional rulers. As I said, the president was there together with the Gamanche, who is the one who is the traditional ruler who led the first cleanup exercise, the reintroduction of the cleanup exercise in Medina on September 6, 2025. We saw him, and when we were doing it in Agbogbloshie, he was with us. He walked from Tema Station to Agbogbloshie to Circle. Today too, he was with us and with the president at Alajo, with the Accra Mayor, Gamanche. In fact, you are showing leadership. May we continue to partner you to make Accra the cleaner city we want. On that note, may I use him as point of reference and thank all traditional authorities and all kings and queen mothers, including the Dean, Nana Prince Boachi Boatin, who is also a chief, for coming out in their numbers and making sure that the program becomes a success. We are not done yet. Tomorrow, the program continues. Let us come as early as possible, still from 6 to 1. From 6 to 1. Market queens, market women, private security services, everybody. No shop will be open from 6 to 1.
For Metro News, Vanessa Idotomboating, Accra.
Heeding to the directive for a national cleanup exercise, staff and management of the Ghana Cocoa Board came out in their numbers to partake in the cleanup exercise in and around its head office in Accra. Together, they desilted, cleared clogged drains which have been left for years without any proper maintenance. Speaking to the media, Deputy Chief Executive Officer in charge of Agronomy and Quality Control, Dr. Francis Ban, mentioned that the directive by the President is in the right direction to enable them have a cleaner environment. He added that individuals must stop building on waterways to avoid disasters.
You see, I come from Koforidua Fijase, and there were always portions of the community which is left like a sink source, where excess water, sinks. So you normally find plants like the sugarcane and some other plants. It tells you that this way. But these days, when I go to my hometown, people are filling it up and building. And water must find its course. So if you block its way, it must find other ways. So if you've heard, some time ago, there was also flooding in Koforidua Fijase. So unless we stick to the laws of nature, there will be consequences. So you can't stop that. If you don't do the right thing as the president has suggested, there will be consequences. And it could affect you, could affect anybody. You think you are living in Accra and you have caused all these elements in your hometown. You might hear that something happened to a member of your family. Every life matters. We need the young people for enhanced productivity of the economy. Our cocoa farmers. So if they have to be clean so that we don't have disaster, why not?
Managing Director for Cocoa Marketing Company, Dr. William Dogbe, who also joined in the cleanup exercise, commended the President for the directive, adding that all must be responsible in the environment in which they live.
Ghana is known as the origin of the best cocoa in the world. And so things like flooding is a risk to us. Before we get cocoa coming in, we go through a very rigorous process, with our quality control company, ensuring that each bean that comes to us is of the utmost quality. So it is a big risk if we cannot protect the warehouses. It floods and then the quality is compromised. So this is actually a step in the right direction for us and for Ghana Cocoa.
Held under the theme, Our Actions Are Future, Cleaning Ghana After the Flood, the exercise is intended to mobilize citizens to clean their communities, protect the environment, and help prevent future flooding.
The inspection of the cleanup exercise, which was commissioned by the President John Dramani Mahama, is ongoing. As the saying goes, leadership by example. The cleanup exercise, or the ones the President will be supervising, started from Pillar 2 in Chado in the Lada de Kotopo Municipal Assembly, and we saw the likes of the executive chairman for the Jospon Group, Dr. Siao Ejapon, also the President himself, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We also saw the presence of the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Obenewa Oklu, also the Metropolitan Chief Executive, Alfredos, for the Lada de Kutupon Municipality was also present, all to inspect the progress of work and how much people are committing to the cleanup exercise.
I want to use this opportunity to thank all the residents who have come out to help this exercise. Clearly, we can see what the cause of our problem is. I mean, we've just desilted this. Look at the plastics that we are taking out of it. Apart from that, the sun there clearly did not happen in 1 year. It means this has been silted for so many years. So it reduces the capacity of the drain to carry water. And in the past, when we do cleanups like this, we fake the silt, we put it by the roadside, and then leave it there. And then when it rains, it washes it back into the drain. And so in this exercise, let's make sure that after we take all this silt out, we bring enough capacity to be able to transport this silt and go and dump it somewhere appropriate. If we're able to do this, for the next year or two, this drain will have enough capacity to be able to carry the water through. I've gone around the city. I've seen the turnout has been very good. And after this, the military and other services are going to continue to dredge the main waterways so that these drains can have an outlet to send the water to those wetlands.
Even if they gave you 200 or 1,000 acres of landfill site, within few months it will be full. And the transfer stations to the Aboboyas, who are the informal waste collectors who are using the Aboboya, there are about 4,000. So even if you say they should bring them here within a day, this place will be a landfill site. And that is why the President Mahama in 2015 brought the idea that let's establish waste transfer stations in some of the strategic areas. So when the people bring them there, then you sort them, recycle send the plastic to the recycling plant, send the compost to the compost plant, then the residual you give it to a long articulated track that will take it from the Greater Accra region and send it to Eastern region or Central region. That was the idea President Mahama brought in 2015. But for some time we stopped using it. So today and tomorrow, as we are doing this, if not that we are opening all the 6 transfer stations in the country, you will see that we'll sweep and there will be nowhere to send them. So you heard me yesterday, I said that the president had to go and re-engage. The national security also had to step in. So as I'm speaking to you, all the transfer stations have been activated.
And what we should ask ourselves is that why now and what have we gotten to this state? And so it's essential. We only have to enforce the laws. And so now I've told my MNDCs that no mercy for the people. You see, sometimes when you find someone culpable and the person is being sanctioned, you see people coming out to plead on their behalf. And so this time around, no mercy for the people. In fact, if you are found wanted and they sanction you, make sure that you face whatever judgment you have. So human face, sometimes you do a demolition exercise and the same Ghanaian will be crying, oh, the government is inhuman. I mean, they say a whole lot of things. And so this time around, like you said, His Excellency has directed. But I can assure you, demolition is ongoing. The fact that, the media is not aware, there is an ongoing demolition exercise. And so when we are also done with this sanitation, demolition is also...
Where are these demolition going on?
From Weja Ganoff. There is, the military is handling that. So this time around, like we said, you know what we are doing? When we come and find your house, fixing, on a day, definitely you should know that.
Hello there, good morning. It's the 11th of July 2026 and welcome to Inside Pages on Metro TV with me, Desmond Okrekudanso, and it's our day 2 coverage of the National Cleanup Exercise. Remember, yesterday was day 1 and we brought you all of that. Well, we had our reporters on the ground reporting from all parts of the capital and of course from the other regions, and we're continuing today with the second day. So many thanks for staying with us here, and I believe that maybe you're watching us, you've done the cleaning already, or you're going out. You can join us on Facebook and continue watching us live on there. We're also live on 94.1 FM on radio, on YouTube, Metro TV Ghana, and also DSTV channel 277. Today I've got 3 guests in the studio. I'll be talking to them in a bit. But before we get to that, some of my colleagues are already on the ground this morning, and let's get on to Zoom right away and speak to Nana Kwesi Kwetia. He's joined us via Zoom. Kwesi, good morning. Where exactly are you now? Hello, Kwesi. I'm unable to hear you. Please unmute so we can talk. Okay, right. So we're trying to connect with my colleague there, Nana Kwesi Kwetia, who is in town to observe what's happening on day 2 of this national cleanup exercise. And then let me just go on and introduce my guest in studio, and then we would take a break and come back and continue the conversation. So joining me this morning in studio, the Deputy General Secretary of the United Party, Richard Suma, is here in all white. I like the cap. Richard, good morning. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes, good to have you.
Yes.
Yeah.
To be here.
And also a man he's in Batakari this morning, and he's joining us here. Shandov Bright Opokubama is communications team member for the NPP. Shandov, welcome. How are you doing? Oh. Okay. Please put your microphone. No, please press the knob. Right. So we had a mix. So Shannon was supposed to be here, and he couldn't be here.
Okay.
So when I saw you, Shannon was there. So
okay.
So you're Pakwesi. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So Pakwesi is in here this morning, and we'll be speaking on behalf of the NPP.
Not at all. I'm speaking on behalf of Ghanaians.
On behalf of Ghanaians.
Of course.
Okay. I know where that is coming from. And Anthony Nukmenu is here, as always. Welcome.
Thank you, bro.
Yesterday, you made a sound bite that is going around.
What is that?
You said people don't understand the Zoom Lion thing, and then people are throwing a few things at you, but I know you.
Oh,
you are used
they are
to
entitled to their mind. I always say that when the truth is staring in your face, you don't say it in the morning.
Okay.
Whatever you say, you come and lick your wounds in the evening. So for me, if you don't understand what I said, maybe they should liaise with me to explain further. Okay. Whatever they throw out there is their opinion. They are entitled to it.
Anthony Nukmenu is the Greater Accra chair for the NDC.
Hey, organizer. I'm not a chair.
Sorry, organizer for the NDC. He's been. I remember prior to the 2024 election, a lot of work that he was doing. When my colleague Bright Tamini went to interview, you could see the stress on his face. But after that, now you can see the stress is gone. The stress is gone, Abi.
We are still managing stress. So.
Hey, your cheeks are.
Then I have to look at my health well.
Right. Let's speak to Kwesi Kwetia, and he's on phone now. Kwesi, good morning. Where exactly are you? Hello, Kwesi Kwetia.
Yes. Good morning, Desmond.
Right. Tell us, where are you and what have you observed this morning?
Yes, I'm at the Adenta Municipal Assembly, and the team is moving to the various locations. We are taking care of the Ritz Junction, Adenta Ritz Junction. We're going to go to Nanakrum, Amrahia, and then finally New Legon. So these are the places that all the teams have been deployed to go. But then I'll be going to the Adenta village. That's where I will be going this morning with the team. So I'm just waiting for the municipal director together with some few directors, and then we will move to the Adenta village, and then we'll be bringing you updates on how the cleanup exercise is ongoing over there.
Right, and day two is supposed to be a scaling up of what happened yesterday. Are residents joining in this particular exercise today?
Yes, we are yet to get the residents, actually. I mean, over here, we have the security men joining us and also the team from the Adenta Municipal Assembly. These are the two people, but then most of the residents are in their homes, and they're watching us as we go about our business. So I'm sure that when we get to the Adenta village, I'm sure I should be able to find some residents joining us, because that's what the municipal director said. So we're just hoping that when we get there, we can also have a look at some of the residents joining us to do the work.
Right, so it means that this morning not so much has been done in the area.
Yes, we haven't moved at all, apart from the few teams that have moved. So we're still here at the municipal assembly. They are actually directing where everybody should go. And we've been here from 6 and waiting on them so that we can get to the grounds and then start the work. So we're still here. Some have moved all right, but then we're just waiting to move to the Adenta village and then the exercise. But what they are also saying is most of the assembly members are there and they've started the sweeping and so on. So we are basically coming to join and then complete the work.
Okay, right. If not much has been done, we'll definitely come back to you later and have what you've observed so far. So my colleague there, Nana Kwesi Kwetia, and he is in Adenta to share with us what's happening there. Right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll begin the conversation with Richard Suma here, Anthony Nukmenu, and also Pakwesi Edofo Beidu is also here. So let's take a break. Inside Pages here. We're back shortly. Stay with us.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm fat Missy Wayne.
Repacho Bantama.
Matthias.
It's her smile. The fresh breath.
Me Gidi said we used to Kel 360 toothpaste. Semikai.
Kel 360 toothpaste.
Guys, Kia. Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasan.
Ile kosen. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
Hey, you will see so feeling when you know Kel 360 toothpaste. Happy smile.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302-998-246 or 0561-032-252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Femi Kalika, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Femi once now.
Hey, that's you.
Improve car.
Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action.
Sasso spray. Mr. Femi Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Come on, Tom Preko.
Welcome back from the break. This is Inside Pages, and today's edition is a very extensive one we'd have here on the day 2 of the National Cleanup Exercise. And in studio with me is Pakwesi Edofo Abedu. Well, you're the doctor. You don't like the doctor? Okay. Pakwesi is fine.
Yeah.
So, no, let me put it right. Dr. Pakwesi Edofo Abedu is a sustainability consultant. PhD,
that's
right?
What they like. That's what they like.
Sustainability consultant and lecturer at UNIMAC. Thank you very much for coming. And also Richard Suma is here, same as Anthony Nukpeni. Let me begin from you, Richard. Your thoughts on day 1 of this exercise after everything that happened. The presidency released a statement that we need to do this, and it began yesterday. You've seen the videos, you've seen how it went. Your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, let me use your noble platform to extend good morning to all your viewers and to my other co-panelists that I shared this platform with them this morning. Well, whatever transpired yesterday, is in the right direction, as it is stated in our own constitution, as something we call the directive principles of state policies, which really gives you the vision as to how we should be building this society called Ghana. And it is also enshrined in it that it is incumbent upon the state to put in all mechanisms to protect and safeguard the environment, and must be able to put forward all manner of directives that is intended to safeguard and protect the environment. So whatever directive came up, for us to go out there and to support a national cleanup exercise, it's in the right direction, but there are several questions that begs for an answer.
Okay.
Ghanaians as we are, and knowing the trajectory of our attitude towards environment, attitude towards cleanliness, attitude towards safeguarding what is national assets, has been very appalling over the years. Nobody can challenge that. Or maybe some people may have other options or opinion about that. But we've all lived in this country over the several years, and we all have come to realize that our attitude towards national assets, how we take responsibility of things that belong to the state, how we take responsibility of our own future, how we take our own destiny into our own hands, has never ever been the best. Now, we have instituted this national cleanup exercise over the several years. This is not the first time we are going for a national cleanup exercise. Ask yourself, all the national cleanup exercises that we have done over the years, what has it really brought us to? If the national cleanup exercise that we have involved in over the several years has yielded any positive result, we shouldn't have seen the quantum of waste that was very visible when the last rain fell on the 29th of June. The rain,
the sanitation day, as we used
the one that we have had. I'm saying,
but there's been a gap in that.
I'm building my point. That is why I'm saying that if the approach is to say once in a while, let us use the national sanitation model to clean our frontage and clean our environment, we are going nowhere. We are going nowhere. What is the policy about the reducing of the waste we produce? The waste we produce, where does it end up in? How many landfill sites do we have in this country? So the question that begs for answer is that when you see all these aboboyas, you see all the waste that we are collecting, where does it end up? Where we don't even have a system that we are generating power or we are generating any form of energy from the waste. So we are just compiling the waste, and sometimes we are even hiding the waste. You remember recently, even some of the things that are unfolding, the Council of State visit, they said they went to Malam Enclave and they saw a hidden dumping site.
Yeah, the MP for the area mentioned
a hidden dumping site. That means it's an authorized dumping site, but people are heaping huge refuges over there. So the question that we need to ask is that how do we move away from this knee-jerk reaction when something happens, a disaster happens, then we are quick to believe that we need to do an operation to clean up our environment. But the moment that ceases, that threat of peace or that threat of security ceases, then we go back to our usual attitude. So how much are we investing as a state into the recycling sector of the economy? How much are we investing into bringing on many more indigenous Ghanaians? If you think we have a problem with Zoomlion and the contract that YEA signed with Zoomlion as to how much Zoomlion is supposed to take, how much Zoomlion is supposed to give to the active participators. Why? It is not Zoomlion who alone unilaterally took that decision that is how much I'm going to pay to those who sweep the street. Right. It is supposed to be what? A bilateral decision between the state agencies giving him the contract and the organization that he ran, because don't forget it's a private-led organization. It's not a state-owned entity. It's meant to make profit. Why? Even state institutions, are they not looking after profit? So if I'm a private investor, I've invested into recycling, I've invested into bringing all this haulage, all these trucks that we use in taking the refuse, we have a place of even recycling them and doing all this waste to energy thing. Why would you want me not to make profit? Why would you sit somewhere and bastardize me that I'm taking advantage of the system when you yourself, your own system, your own state has failed to take care of you? So this argument about Zoomlion there is just a vindictiveness attitude of Ghanaians. Is what led us to where we are today. All the vehicles that are still being used to collect the rubbish, how many of them do you see branded under the district assemblies?
They are all still Zoomlion.
They are all still Zoomlion branded vehicles and logistics. If we are reasonable enough and we wanted to develop our own capacity, we should be able to know that at least if for nothing at all, when it comes to environmental sustainability, when it comes to the manpower, when it comes to the resources, when it comes to everything that we need to be self-sufficient in collecting our own waste, in managing our own waste, we have built institutional capacity or we have built a local capacity. Look at Ghana, when it comes to the telecommunication space, we don't have a voice there. When it comes to the mining space, we don't have a voice there.
But telecom, we have 80.
80.
80.
80.
Yes.
Airtel Tigo.
Yes.
What is their market share?
But still, it is fast.
Well, Airtel Tigo was just highly purchased by the government because it was sinking. It was sinking. It was a private entity. It was virtually sinking.
Right.
The state don't have any major stake in ATL. They may say they have it, but nevertheless, it is not making any significant impact. The question I am raising is that we have 365 days in a year. If we are going to talk about putting in very stringent mechanism to control the way we collect our refuse and manage it and dispose of it, it is proper. You know, government said they have established what we call the Blue Water Guards.
Yes.
Why are we not looking at having something called the Environmental Protection Guards? Even though we have this so-called saman for tangas and all those things, but are they visible enough in your communities?
No, we're not seeing them now.
Are they visible? So in a nutshell, for my other panelists to make a case on this matter, is that attitude is one, prioritizing the environment and putting in more capital resources to equipping whichever organizations are going to come on board, expanding our recycle capacity, expanding our ability to make sure we do what we call the waste to energy. You cannot be sitting on filth and the filth you cannot convert it into anything. Now what are you good at? What really are you good at as a country? So I want to commend the people who came out in their numbers to support it, but don't forget that the rains are still with us. And for sure, our people are still even dumping the refuse in the gutter during the time the rain is falling.
Okay.
So you should know that we are always moving from frying pan to fire. So in a nutshell, we commend government, but let us look into education. Let us look into how we can strengthen the system, how we can be able to make it very unfriendly that anybody caught dumping anything anywhere must be jailed for a period of at least not anything less than 2 years.
Right. Thank you very much, Richard, there. And let me say that Shandolph Brian Tupukubuama has now joined us. He's communications team member for the NPP. Shandolph, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Yes, get to you in a bit. But Anthony, your government is in power. And so everybody is looking at what the government is doing about our situation. So before the floods happened, or right when the floods happened, there were lots of conversations about what the government had instituted the previous year with a task force. And a lot of us didn't see a commitment of that. But after that and all that government has put in place, including the announcement of this cleanup exercise, you believe that we're seeing that commitment from the government to tackle the situation?
Thank you very much. Good morning to the cherished viewers and colleagues on the panel. I would say we are a nation, and many a times our approaches to issues are only noticed when situations confront us. Because as people, we believe that someone bears the authority to do everything on our behalf because we have voted for some people.
Right.
That has lived with us during this democratic dispensation. Because growing up in the PNDC era, when they say Jack, everybody's on board. But now, because we believe we have mandated some people by our thumb, they must do everything. So the authorities themselves, their engagement with citizens is not there. Because back in the days, you see information service and NCC in our communities talking to us and conscientizing us. As kids going to school, our education curriculum was even giving us patriotic citizenship approach to our issues.
Right.
So we were involved. So in your house, when you create waste, you know that by weekend, we sweep ourselves, gather around somewhere, and then we make sure we burn whatever it is. So when the waste we create was being managed by ourselves in our own homes.
Yeah.
Civilization, or whatever we call it today, has made homes paved and tiled, so where to even control our waste is no more there. So everybody is now gathering into a polythene bag and other things, and given out to somebody to be to collect. So it has compounded our situations, and we are confronted, and this challenge is there. And the authorities that need to engage the citizens to make sure we are all up and do the right thing, we are not doing, and continuously we are paying lip service to managing these challenges as to solid and liquid waste, as to environmental cleanliness, and all.
That we include your government?
All of us.
Okay.
In almost 35 years or 36 years of democracy, it's like this. You have done this, you have not done this, and we continue until there is a height in disaster. That is where we all come back to ourselves and say, hey, what is happening? So, before the last flood, there were floods earlier in the year.
Yes.
The moment there was a break, like 2-3 weeks, we all went back to sleep until the last flood, which we saw the water levels gone so high, broke bounds. The areas we've never seen flood before all got flooded. We are all getting alert that, look, there is something untoward. And I situated all this situation into a lot of context. Growing up, we knew, or we read, or we heard our ancestrals, how they protected the environment, the preservation, the dignity they gave to the environment, where water bodies were being respected, how forests were being respected, how they pay homage to it, either annually or quarterly. At a point, what did we see? People turned all those things into like fetishism, and it's not religious, it's a before crew, a lot of things. So we started destroying all those things. So this water body, they say it's fertile, let's go and clear it off, this forest. So I saw the first thing as we not respecting God's creation and making it dirty. So God is angry with us as a nation in the first place.
God is angry with us?
Of course, because everywhere that got flooded where either is a stream or a river line that has been taken over by human being. The man who created this universe said, man, be here. My creations should also be here. You are all my creations, but he placed all of us in certain places. Why are we taking over water lines and water bodies? Where water needs to rest, we are taking over and say we want to stay there. And as we are even staying there, we are not putting the dignity it deserves. We are dirtying it with all manner of things, either liquid or solid waste. Then, authorities that need to enforce laws. The laws, we have all the brilliant and the nice laws in our books, be it the bylaws at assemblies, be it the laws within the regional capitals or the central government. It's there. How, when a citizen doesn't comply with the law, what needs to be done? But what do we see? Oh, this is my cousin, this is my nephew, this is my in-law, this is my dad. So when the law wants to bite me, somebody will call someone, other partisanship, religious-wise, traditional settings, to influence. So the implementers of the law become so weak because, hey, this authority have called me. So we have all the people sitting and we are paying them, but influence from other persons subdue them, and we are not able to.
Which is not supposed to be so.
It's not supposed to be so. So we have lived with all these things, and it's now eating all of us up.
Okay.
So for me, this is telling us something, that look, we should all stop what we do, not allowing the laws to take its course. So for me, the president has made a call. He's the commander-in-chief of the country. He's the last man standing, and everything that will happen, whether good or bad, it will be placed squarely at his domain.
So the government is committed to...
He must take full responsibility. When there is glory, it takes. When there is maybe a shame or embarrassment, so he has taken it upon himself to say, citizens, let's take these 2 days and go into an action. After that, he's going to issue marching orders to his appointees, be it MMDCs, ministers, other appointees. And then your duty as that appointee sitting at that agency or department, it's your duty to make sure your directorates, the directors, the engineers, the planners, rise up to the occasion and make sure that the right things are done. If after this, we go back on the same attitude of not complying and not enforcing, then I don't think we are ready.
Okay, Anthony, let me read this from Kofi Bento, because I have to bring Dr. Pakwesi in. He's a sustainability consultant. And so I'd ask him a question about that. Kofi Bento says that back during the revolution and in President Kufuor's time, there were calls for communal cleaning of the city. I made a point which still stands. It's a good thing in a dysfunctional society to once in a while ask citizens to clean the city. That is not virtue, however. It must be said that there's no clean city in the world where citizens clean, and all cities where citizens clean are never clean. I don't know what that means, but it says that, in other words, when governments and city authorities fail in their duty, they resort to these antics which never solve the problem. And we have had presidents cleaning gutters in Accra, and that's never cleaned the city because it is not sustainable. The better response is to insist that the right people do their work. Even New York and Mexico City, which are way larger than Accra, get cleaned daily. Check their population. Proper city management, which ensures continued cleaning, is the way to maintain clean cities, not communal labor. If a surgeon, or if you're a surgeon and have to go and do life-saving surgery, please go to work and save lives. Don't waste your precious time doing what city laborers must do. So that's from Kofi Bento. I'll have your take on that. But look, so the conversation, and we all allude to that, we agree to that, is that there needs to be consistency and how we can sustain what we have begun in terms of the cleanup exercise. By the way, Anthony is looking at me. Anthony, you want to respond to this?
Kofi Bento?
Yes.
Oh, he has shared his opinion as to how cleanliness must be contained. I've always lived with the belief that waste management today cannot be of the past. We need serious waste management entrepreneurs to be able to collaborate with government, to be able to enforce and make sure we get what we want. I've operated within the assembly for years. I've been an assembly member to presiding member. And I know very well that the capacity to manage waste can never be done by an assembly. Assemblies, our major job is to focus on it and make sure, one, we educate the people, we engage them, and then when it comes to the collection and the management of the waste, the assembly can never have the capacity. So back and forth, that we need to build capacity for the entrepreneurs to be able to engage.
So you agree with them?
Oh yes, cleanliness must be a shared responsibility.
Okay.
Must be a shared responsibility.
Right, Doc. We've seen this calling on all Ghanaians to make sure that we are disposing of our waste properly. It's not been done. The laws haven't been working, and now we are out with a 2-day cleanup exercise trying to mitigate the effects of the insanitary conditions we have in the country. With regards to the floods, also, how do we properly sustain the effort to clean up our cities?
Thank you, my brother, and a very good morning to you and to my co-panelist. I think, you see, I've been smiling because just this week, I think this is about the 6th platform I've been on talking about ways, these issues, and I'm asking myself, when are we going to stop talking I mean, are you going to
get to do the work?
Get to do the work. I've just been asking myself, but of course, we have to keep on engaging the public as far as the problem persists. And so, for me, the basic good that I take from this discussion is really about how people are, how people's attitudes, how people's knowledge, perceptions about waste are being shaped, even based on the discussion that we are having. And then, more importantly, how we can also influence policy, influence decision makers, and influence public action, just so we have a better or a cleaner Ghana and Accra, to be specific. Yes, I think you were asking about sustainability of what we are doing now.
Right.
Okay, so let's all agree that we have been bad at managing our waste as a country. We have been very terrible in terms of our waste management approaches as a country. No two ways about that. And I think, just as my brothers indicated, that the result of our past actions and inactions are what we are seeing today. Okay? And so the most important thing is for us to look at really the way forward. What can we do best? What can we do so that we can have a better situation tomorrow and beyond? You see, the first problem really is about the ecosystem of waste. How do we conceptualize waste in the first place? When we say waste, what do we mean? What are the institutions involved? What are the laws, the strategies guiding the institutions? Resources. How are we giving the institutions the needed resources to drive those policies or objectives? In fact, do we even have an objective? Do we have an end goal? Do we have a vision or the ideal situation that we can all say, this is where we want to get to, and so this is how we are going to channel our energies to arrive at that destination? In other words, how do we even foresee Accra to be in the next 10 years as far as our waste is concerned? Do we have something like that? Do we have any plan to say that in 2035, in 2036, this is how we want to see Accra as far as our sanitary conditions, our environmental conditions are concerned? If we do, then I would say yes, nice policy, nice plan. And I think I agree. When it comes to planning, we have them. When it comes to things that we can put on paper, we have them nicely. So I cannot sit here to say that we don't know what we want in the next 10 years as far as Accra is concerned. Okay? And even, assuming we don't even have, these are things that we can easily do. Now, in both scenarios, if we want to see Accra as a city which can be compared to, for example, Johannesburg, for example, London or New York or wherever, where the environment is so clean, people's attitude are so right that they don't dispose waste indiscriminately and all that, then we can now think of what are we doing to get to that destination. And that is where I was talking about our laws, the resources, the institutions involved, and even how you mobilize or you drive people towards achieving that goal. And I want to make the point that, look, I have just said that we have been bad about our waste management or our environmental, in the management of our environment, because I just want to drive at the point that we have not been planning.
You've not been planning?
Yes, we've not planning our cities and the country as well.
Okay.
Yes. And if I say planning, it's not just about the paperwork. Planning involves both setting your goals and then working towards the goal.
You've not worked towards the goal enough?
No, not enough. I mean, if you even say enough...
We've not done it at all.
If you even say enough, because look at all the issues that are happening with our floods and all the things that we are talking about. Clearly it tells you that something is wrong with our planning. We are in Accra here. We are today in 2026. We are saying that there is no properly engineered landfill site by the state. What is there available is the private sector, which I know Zoom Lion has one. But you and I know that Zoom Lion's capacity is just way not enough compared to the waste generated in this city alone. Go to the pond site. It's almost full. is over full. The minister has declared, I think way back in February, that there's no dumping again. Now I know they are moving to Nsawam. They are already going there.
And even with yesterday, he made there was a press conference where he said that for these 2 days it is free at all. So I'm just imagining the kind of waste that would go to all of these landfill sites.
Just go and look at the queue there right now, where people have to go and dispose and come back.
Okay.
And you see, I'm talking about planning because if we had planned our city in this time and age, well-engineered landfill sites are strategic places within the city where, there are locations, even for buffers or for secondary options when maybe those engineered sites are full. Planning. And so because we are not planning, we have a situation like that. Do you expect the Aboboya or the tricycle driver to load that small truck and then travel all the way to Nsawam and come back when? So you only expect him or her to just when he gets to the dark or find any place of convenience people are not looking on, you just throw it away.
Anywhere.
Because the system has been made in such a way that it doesn't support even the Aboboya driver to do the right thing, all because of poor planning.
Okay. Right, let me bring in Shandov. Shandov is communications member for the NPP, and it was under the NPP that there was a Ministry of Sanitation. It was under the NPP that the president mentioned that Accra was going to be the cleanest city. And Shandov, you have your time now. What happened to that?
Yeah, thank you very much, and good morning to my co-panelists and your viewers as well. I think before I come to that, recently when the floods happened, we had the leader of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, went to the grounds to ascertain the level of devastation and also sympathize with those who are affected. And I think during that period, when you go on social media, some critics of the NPP from the NDC were like, why would he step into the floods with a kick and all of that. Yesterday, whilst I was monitoring engagement on the media, I saw our president and our vice president. I don't know.
But the vice president was in Wellington boots.
No, it's not only about the Wellington boots. Anthony, I think the handlers of our people have not been the best. I saw the president, taking shovel, trying to clear the gutters, and with his bare hands took one of these bottles. And right after that, he also touched his cap. Same thing with our vice president. No smacks provided, no gloves provided. And nobody has even spoken about it. I think we need to, as a matter of urgency, the handlers of our leaders needs to be up and doing. That regardless of who is in power, once the person represents the party, we need to make sure that they are handled with some kind of proper care. That's not to say that others or the citizens are also not supposed to take those precautions, but then these are our leaders. We need them to lead by example. Why would you I don't know if it was just for the optics. So Anthony, I think you are in the best of positions to help our people take proper care of the president for us.
Anthony, the message is
yes, I'm sure like he's seen it. I'm sure like he's seen it.
So the president yesterday. I could agree. I didn't. Okay, so he had no gloves.
Gear for the exercise. For that one, I agree with you, and I didn't like his appearance at the site. Yes. He was supposed to be in gloves
at all. No smart, no gloves, nothing. And if the video would continue, once he was done touching from this the mud that he fetched this thing from, he just touched his cap again. And I'm sure he's moved, up to several areas. Exactly. Also engaging the media. Everybody was present. We can just imagine the level of transfer of, and we are even talking about cholera outbreak as a possibility if we do not take measures to help this thing.
Right. So Anthony has said he will tell the president.
Yeah, so I think clearly,
and the handlers of the president.
Yes. So I think clearly. We've not done much as a country. If I'm being nationalistic, that is what we all ought to do. We've not done well as a people. The collective responsibility as Ghanaians, we've not has not been the best. When you look at our attitude towards sanitation, it's been one of the poor things we've done over the period. And my co-panelists have highlighted same. In fact, during this week, like Doc said, we've gone on several media platforms to to retreat those things. In fact, one thing that I would want our MMDCs and also the Town Planning Committee in the various districts to take note of is our way of building. Of late, like it's become fashion that anybody, when you take about 10 houses on a stretch, about 8 of them are all tiled. When you enter the compound, they are all tiled. And I have listened to Aspect when it comes to environment and also this flood, prevention. And they talk about the fact that some amount of rain needs towards
getting to the soil,
soaked into the land or like into the soil. But once we have all of the house tiled, it's going to run off. So now places that do not normally flood because of that kind of habits are seeing floods. So when Anthony was talking about the fact that now we are seeing other places flood, it's not the fact that they've also built on water runways, but we are seeing the effect of such acts by we citizens that has ended up, and it's quite bad. I think we have to relook at our engineering issues. And you see, we are all not on the same wavelength. Reason why we would vote leaders. And I think one of the things that I've not seen the president do in recent times, not only with flooding, but almost with every issue that happens in this country, is his ability to accept responsibility.
He hasn't accepted.
He hasn't. You see, when he came down from the chopper the other time, and of which we have said countless times that there was no need for him to sit in the chopper in the first place. Technology is far advanced that we could use drones, with some sophisticated softwares to help us ascertain properly. He could be in the boardroom with all the leaders, and with the help of the drone, that technology would be able to ascertain and even measure the intensity of the floods at the time.
But the intensity of the floods, I mean, it was mentioned in the statement.
No, but I'm saying that he needed not to be in the chopper to help us.
He wanted to see for himself.
So then he could have used a different medium. The choppers were supposed to be, airlifting mothers who were seen seated on the, like on the rooftops of the building. I saw, so you see, those choppers, like I said, we could have used it to proper use, not to see the, especially when you had already appointed, your deputy chief of staff a year ago to come up with some of these reports. And today we are seeing with him again in that same, chopper, taking videos and vlogging. I think that is not the best of us. We could have put the chopper in proper use. But then, just to also touch on your issue, like I was talking about leadership, there's always the role of leadership in some of these things. When you read the NDC's manifesto, Anthony, I'm sure he's privy to it, chapter 4.23, they actually enumerated, or like they enumerate some kind of measures that we're going to put in place to help some of these flood issues that we are seeing. Just to mention a few. One of the things that they mentioned is that they are going to build water retention and detention ponds in flood-prone cities for flood control and irrigation. They are going to repair and maintain drainage systems such as those on the Odo River to sustainably manage water resources. And they are also going to develop the Nasia, Nabogu, and Palugu multipurpose dam to support all year-round agriculture needs. Today we are talking about Accra. Very soon we are going to have the spillage from the Barge Dam. We are also going to come back to this same place and talk about how houses and homes are affected in the northern region. You see, when politicians come up with some of these things, it's also bestowed on you, the media, to hold them accountable. But
the question I asked you, Shandoff, was about the commitment from your government when you were in power, when there was a sanitation ministry, and the president himself made a declaration that Accra was going to be the cleanest cities. So we're talking about accountability, that we could hold President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the then Minister for Sanitation and say that they failed us, and it has contributed to what we're seeing now.
So you see, the truth of the matter is that in our quest to help make Accra the cleanest city, one of the things that President Nana Addo, like you rightly said, was to institute the sanitation ministry. At least we did not say that we solved all the sanitation issues, because yes, the numbers are growing every now and then. Accra is gradually or becoming overpopulated. So from time to time, you are going to have some of these things come up. But then there were some measures that we did put in place with the help of the sanitation ministry. And don't forget that in recent times, we've been talking about this garage funds and all of that. World Bank was able to rate us that the work that we did, in as much as we couldn't complete all the work, but then they said it was moderately satisfactory. If there was no work done to help some of these things, how come the World Bank was able to rate us? So at least there was some work done, but then we didn't finish. And one would expect that the government, upon attainment of office, continue with same. But what did we see? We had some 13.8 million in the funds taken out, and the World Bank report.
Look at the president has heard you today. So that's the president. Today he's in gloves, long gloves. So he's at Alajo with the local government minister and the regional minister there. My colleague Shadrach Odami-Jare is on Zoom. Let me speak to him quickly and then we can continue with this. Okay, so Shadrach is off. So the president is visiting Alajo there with, of course, we know that Alajo was one of the places that were gravely hit by this floods that happened on the 29th of June. So he's being showed what is happening at Alajo. Look at that garbage there at Alajo. Okay, Shanoff, you can continue, and you're wrapping up very soon. So the commitment. So you're saying that the World Bank said you've done okay.
No, you see, like the way you put it, if there was no work done,
Was there any percentage of what Accra had become in terms of the cleanliness of the city?
No, I mean, like that we do not have, like, but I'm saying, like, on what basis was the World Bank's rating? Like, on what basis? At least there was some work done. You put together
a proposal and then you told the World Bank you're doing this and this and that.
No, but I'm saying, so on what basis did they rate us that it was moderately satisfactory? No, but right now we are having the World Bank also rate this same government and even giving us reasons why we are seeing this flood. It's not as if that if the NDC had taken proper steps, we are not going to see the flood. The floods were going to come like anyway, but then we are not going to see the impact as heavy as it is now. If some of these things were put in place, if you've been able to enumerate all of these plans in your manifesto, and 1 year, 6 months down the line, you've done nothing out of the point. These are about 10 pointed things that they mentioned in their manifesto. Not even one has been done. One after 1 year, 6 months in government. And that is why I said that leadership needs to take responsibility. And because you see, in 2024, the president on his Facebook wall was able, when one life was lost, it's not to say that a life is not important, but it was a schoolboy who lost his life in May 2024. The president took to his social media to talk about the fact that exactly today we are counting over 40 people and more.
Okay.
And the presidents do not see the need to take responsibility and let Ghanaians know that in us, like in going forward or before we go forward, he said what like acknowledging that he has failed the people.
Shadrach, thank you very much. My colleague is Shadrach. He's on phone now. Shadrach, good morning. What's happening at Alajo today?
So, like we started yesterday, the cleanup exercise continues for the second day, and some areas were desilted, others were also cleaned, and President Mahama had to come back to check the progress of work from yesterday. He had to come back again with the regional minister and the minister in charge of local government and executive chairman for Zoom Lion or for Jospon Group. So today we are having, the main focus is on the fleet that has been assembled to cut all the waste from here. So from Alajo, Newtown, Mamobi and its environs. And that is what basically was done. And the president also told some areas admonishing people to come out of their homes and take part in the exercise. It's been just like yesterday, very fruitful, but hopefully we get to move to other side. We are now moving from Alajo, so we'll still be bringing you up to speed on where next we'll be going.
Shadrach.
Hello, Desmond.
Yes, if you can hear me, I am asking that there's the other part of the, what's it called? The car price part, where there's a hotel Zeus or something like that. Why are they not also going to that part? Because that part was also flooded heavily.
Betsy, the line looks a bit hazy. I think I should get at a better place and then speak to you.
Shadrach, I'll come back to you. But for me, that's been when I was coming into work today. I saw that part, the car price area, the other side. I saw a lot of things in the drain. Why are we not focusing on that area also? Because it drives into the
about 3 or 4 things in this post-flood mitigation situation. One is to be able to identify and collect all the debris that came after the flood, be it broken vehicles that got into the drains, the rubbishes that came out and where they are gathered, to be able to collect them. Then those in the homes that people have stacked, to be able to evacuate everything. And then be able to desilt most of the drains, the tertiary primary drains that are choked.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday's call was to be able to make sure all those drains are desilted, which has been heavily done. Where we are today is evacuation, which is the major thing that has confronted us. The garbage that has been taken out and those that have been identified and collected, the collection has really overwhelmed the assemblies as we speak. Having driven this morning and the heaps
you've seen,
town, so there is going to be an emergency evacuation plan where they need to conjure other machineries to town, because if you are not able to collect today, it's also another breeding point for other health
and even
issues.
if it rains today, it's going to be difficult.
It's a hydrant also. It's like a 7-head snake issues. When you cut one, you have not finished.
You have to tackle all of that.
Then, as I said, then it must follow with fumigation. Seriously.
Right. Shadrach is back on. Shadrach. So I was asking that, and before even I'll go to that. So the president's visit together with the entourage, what exactly is it supposed to do for the area? Because Alajo, they were really hit with that. What is going to be done in the area to mitigate, the effect of the floods we saw?
So most of the areas here, including the locations that you mentioned, were flooded or inundated as a result of the choke drains, people erecting unapproved structures on waterways, people building on waterways. And we also realized that there are even people who have done demarcations and claiming ownership of certain portions of the areas which are not supposed to be claimed. So ordinarily they are supposed to be left as such that when the floodwaters come in, they are able to run through those places. So once you block those waterways, the whole place becomes flooded. So now what they are announcing here, and the president has just left, but we have the executive chairman here instructing them or personnel on where the collection should start from, which trucks should be used, because they have visited most of the places now. And like for where you mentioned, any part of the buildings there that are in waterways from the regional minister would have to go off, because now the human face would not be attached. She was saying that mostly when such things happen, they say government is inhumane, but government would rather be inhumane than watch people die. So now the main focus is demolition, getting structures out of the way, desilting the choked gutters, and then making sure people change their attitudes towards the environment and sanitation. This one.
So the refuse, the heaps would be collected today, all of them?
Yeah, so as I am speaking to you now, I can see over 15 trucks lined up here in Alajo, lining up to collect the waste that has been collected from the various locations. So I'm right by the chairman, executive chairman, now clapping, prompting people on which part to collect and what to collect. There are a lot of trucks here, so hopefully all the refuse that has been brought out here will be collected. I also realized that most of the people here are also taking advantage of the cleanup exercise, because it is supposed to be mostly or predominantly the silt and then all the rubbish that has been cleared from aside. But now people are bringing in, they've actually carted the waste in their homes and then piled it up along the drains. So now the trucks have no option than to make provision to carry all those ones away. So that is what is currently ongoing here at Alajo, Newtown, and then the other surrounding communities. But hopefully, like I mentioned, by end of the day, most of the silt here will be moved away, and the president has directed that Zoomlion Ghana Limited make space or extra space for this silt and then silt that has been collected, such that you have them being laid closer to the drains, and anytime the rains come in, because it's already cloudy, you may push them back into the drains. So Zoomlion is hopefully supposed to make space to accommodate the filth that has been collected.
Right, Shadrach, are you able to speak to Dr. Senwe Japon?
Well, he's out of sight,
okay,
but
right. That's fine.
Should I see him? Even if not on phone, it will be on video so that we can play to our people.
Right, thank you very much. Shadrach Odamia Jare is our presidential correspondent, following the president and the regional minister and the local government minister also at Alajo, where the inspecting works on day 2 of the cleanup exercise. Richard, I'm coming to you. Yesterday I saw a video of Dr. Rawlings and the rounds that she did, and the odor from her constituency was clean. I don't know if you saw the video from her. She did a live video, and the odor was clean. You were talking about leadership. We've talked about the NPP and the NDC and how we've not made the laws to work. But if we are able to chalk successes like this, like from yesterday and today, town looking all clean, how do we do this? Because again, Shadrach was mentioning politics. The residents will say, we won't vote for you because you've taken our homes. How do we insist and make the laws work, Richard?
Well, sincerely, this issue, we need to decouple it from politics. And as a matter of fact, we have a responsibility towards safeguarding the environment, protecting it at all costs. Your reporter just made mention of something very peculiar. Just said, most of the homes are taking advantage of the exercise to bring out the refuse that they've stockpiled in their homes, pouring it on the street.
On the streets.
For it to be absorbed by the exercise. The question that begs for an answer, I will wish you are a journalist. 1 week down the line, today, 1 week, I bet just 1 week, go back to Alajo with your cameras. If you can go to Alajo with your cameras, with the gutters as it is today, at least maintaining that status for at least 50% of it, I will clap for them.
You don't think that?
I will clap for them.
At least 50%.
At least 50%. I'm not saying entirely it should go back to what it used to be, but at least 50% threshold. Okay? I will clap for them because we don't have a plan. Like Doc is saying, we don't have a plan. And these are knee-jerk reactions. You cannot solve a country's bizarre attitude towards environment by just this showmanship of 1 or 2 day mandatory exercise to be engaged by the citizens. It won't wash. So I would have wished to be told that per the plan, prior to we going into it, this is the state. After we finish, these are the mechanisms we are going to put in place to sustain it. I was in this country when President Akufo-Addo was taken to the same Odo River. The same Odo, yeah.
I'm looking at Shandong.
With the engineers. With the engineers, these boot-licking engineers surrounding him and telling him how they are going to convert Odo into a beautiful place with boats on it, with all these things. But the people all who live around Odo ask me, where do they dump their refuse? It goes into the Odo.
And we saw the buffet of refuse on the Odo.
It goes into the Odo.
Nothing happened.
Are you with me? Have we not heard the president? Even himself, when he was there, they were telling him he was nodding his head beautifully, as if he meant well to do something. Didn't he exit and nothing was done about this Garrett project? Didn't he exit? And today we are hearing the quantum of money that government received towards fighting this thing. And like I said, if you really want to sustain this thing, it is not a one-day wonder. I don't want to commend Dr. Zaneto or whatever because they have been there. That is her constituency. Have they periodically been doing this, let's say, each and every quarter of the year? Have you heard that any assembly, each quarter of every year, has enforced this sanitation exercise that everybody must participate in it? It should be based on quarterly. Then every quarter we can access and see that, oh, what we did in Alajo today, we are in July, right? So probably by July, August, first week of September, this exercise should be able to do what? Happen again. So I would want to plead with the government, if they can do it every quarterly or every 2 months, because we have how many months in a year? 12 months in a year. Even if they can do it every 2 months, ending the last week of every 2 months, I'm sure it could be sustained in any way possible. Even though I know we don't have the resources to dispose of it, we don't have the resources to turn the waste into power. Ask yourself, all this wastage that we are collecting, where is it going?
He has to go to the...
shut up and come in. Let me make my case. Why all the refuse we have collected since yesterday and today, where is the final destination? Has anybody told you?
Some will go to the transfer stations. Yes, and
then to where? To where? Where is the final destination?
Landfill site, as the minister mentioned yesterday.
How many landfill sites do you have in Accra?
Just to add on to what Richard is saying, that is the reason why, as a people, we should not hide behind politics. You know, we had Malik Basintali, who knows nothing about sanitation and its management, come and just because of politics cancelled Zoomlio's contract. We can debate the payment or the salary structure to the workers, but then when we look at it on the broader spectrum, on no basis should we just come and cancel the contract, especially when we do not have many private companies who are going to help us with this waste management.
I have alluded to that position already. Yes. That we need to build capacity for indigenous businesses. You understand? If today Zoomlio is being recognized in Liberia, recognized in all other African territories, why are we deliberately attempting to witch hunt and vindictively collapse the system that is introduced? I don't see any commitment. I asked you before we started the program, how much is government allocation from the contingency fund towards sustainable environment? How much is it? How much? Environmental Protection Agency, how much is government allocation to them? How much is government allocation even to the district assembly? To the district assembly, how are they using even the component of the fund that is meant for environment and sanitation? Like how disabilities, their money is being used for parties, being used to eat wache, drink beer.
Oh, how?
Why? Didn't you listen to the Public Accounts Committee? Didn't you listen that money that is meant for disabled, they are using it for unnecessary things? The same way the money meant for the environment, they are using it to do unnecessary things. So as a matter of fact, we need to put a priority on this. If necessary, bring in your army. Look, when persuasion fails, force has to be applied. If you are practicing this democracy, the people will take it for granted. You can never change. So democracy does not prevent you from deploying your military to take certain actions, to keep certain things. Why? In America, the law does not allow National Guard to be deployed on the soil of America. Are you with me? But the law still allows that in case of emergency situation, when the president didn't fit that something is going untoward and they want to deploy them, he does so. That's why recently when he came, issues of crime in Chicago and all these places, he brought in the National Guard. Are you with me? Yes. So if you think that people are not disciplined enough, all this exercise we are doing to go back to zero, why don't you bring your military, position them at certain strategic locations where you know people normally pollute there? Put them there. If you arrest anybody, discipline them.
Okay, Anthony, the commitment, that's what we are all talking about here. The commitment to do this, because at the end of the day, for the young people, we can talk about them, but we voted them out.
And this is not time to be bantering.
Oh yeah, of course, and you were given the opportunity, so everything will be left at your doorstep. Richard says this one is
for our opponent. They've chewed Baba our manifesto in their heads, so they will always refer it to us. We agree. Where we are as a country right now, look, sustaining this exercise needs full commitment from all sectors. The government, the president is showing the way. If MCs do not show the way from today, they don't deserve to occupy offices. This is not a time to talk, because the situation is tearing in our face and it's going to eat us up.
Okay.
I get it.
Anthony, please hold on for me. Sorry about that. My colleague, KOB, Kofi Otobe Queen, is at Odona. Kofi? Can you hear me, Kofi? Okay, so KOB is not is unable to hear me, and so Anthony, you go. When we get him back on, we can talk to him.
Right now, it is about evacuating all these things, as he asked, to where. We all know there are transfer stations and there is a landfill site. But will you agree with me that there are scavengers who will go back to this sector, go and scavenge this whole thing and bring back
the filth
into town, which we don't prevent? Bottles. You see them heap from the baller side coming to town. So I will think that from Monday going, we have to issue another directive to police checkpoints. Any aboboya or any truck bringing this from it should be arrested because it's
okay. right. KOB. Hello, KOB. Good morning. Hello, Kofi. Kofi. Okay, Kofi Ama. Good morning. Tell us what you've seen at Odo this morning. Okay, so KOB cannot hear me. We've got to sort that out. But you're talking about the MMDCs, all of that. Again, it leads to leadership. Who's the authority? The president, the local government minister. Who's supposed to look
when
at
the president appoints you, he has given his powers to you at that locality.
But still, you are under someone, which is the local government minister.
You are working towards a leader. So what is your bylaw say? Every assembly has a bylaw. You don't have to wait for the president to come and tell you how to implement your bylaw. But you see, that's why I said that. Is the influence peddling, where I think maybe regional organizer, I'll call MCA, don't do this because of vote. So that MC, he himself has look at him or herself inferior. So what he's supposed to do is not doing it. And the worst of it is the technocrats.
Technocrats? Oh, now you're blaming technocrats.
I'm not blaming technocrats.
Oh, you're saying they are part of the problem.
They are major contributors to the issues.
Like Dr. Eko.
Oh, no. The major contributor, because you go to an assembly and you ask, so from 8 to 5 that they came to work, what is really the productivity of the assembly? There's nothing. Because MCs, most of the time you see them gallivanting Accra. From Zabzugu, Pandai, whatever, they are in Accra. What he or she needs to be within his enclave, he said he's coming to lobby for development, with development. So the development planning is a challenge where I sit and I think if I don't come to Accra, I won't get what I need. So we are confronted with serious issues. As Doc said, planning is a major challenge to the country.
When the floods happened, a lot of Ghanaians on social media were saying that we need to see the, in quotes, anger of President Mahama. We need to feel his wrath on
that anger can only be seen in late President John Rawlings.
Why President Mahama can show his
democratic elected presidents?
Well, the anger in this case is hold people accountable. I asked you to do this work. You've not done it, so I'm firing you. I'm taking you off. And then we'll see that there is some...
I say it's only Chairman Rawlings that can fire people 1 o'clock news afternoon. So those days, when the 1 o'clock news is coming, everybody is listening whether my name will be called. These days, firing people becomes, hey, this is my person. This is my this is my that.
So that's
what presidents will appoint, but to fire, it will be at the bell and call of other influential people within this country.
Then that is a problem.
That is a problem. It's a problem with the country.
But your government is in power now, so what you're saying is about your government.
Yes. I believe by this time, there should be some serious reshuffles.
Well, Linda Aquili.
Why are you mentioning my regional minister?
No, I'm asking you.
What has she done?
You said that. No, you said that by this time you were expecting that some reshuffles would happen.
Regional ministers don't control budget. Regional ministers don't have any budget to control.
But I think she's done good so far.
They're only supervisory.
She's done good so far. She's done good so far.
To the best of the ability and the capacity within her jurisdiction, she has done better.
Oh, okay.
Because what have you given her that she has used that hasn't met your expectation?
Okay.
All she needs to do is to provide that leadership in continuing engaging MMDCs and making sure they work. If the MMDCs who have the budget to work,
so fire them. That is so you appointed them. So take them away.
For me, we are confronted with an issue. The president has shown the way, has shown leadership.
Anthony, I'm not seeing the commitment from what you're saying this morning.
All I'm saying is that from today to go, any MC that will slip on his or her responsibility and making and getting things done the old way, I don't think he or she will survive 7 days.
Okay.
That is all we will communicate to you. I am a party leader. I will communicate to the president. Look, this man cannot meet our expectation. If for 1.5 years we said your KPI, your key KPI is sanitation, and this is what we have seen, we have gone in an exercise. What we are trying to do now is to evacuate all these debris. If we see these stockpiles again in the next 7 days, you cannot do the job.
Okay.
Go away.
So you're going to tell the president that?
Of course.
Okay. Right.
And if I make that call and it's not done, I will make it publicly.
I thought he started us today
to be vindicated
I
tomorrow.
thought he started all of us here, our viewers, that he will make that call to the president or his handlers that this person is not doing the work. Doc, why you laugh? You don't think it can happen?
No, it's not easy to be in government, and when some of these issues are coming.
But he says that, and he's alluded to
and I'm sure the president will eventually watch this program. So indirectly, I'm sure, Anthony, I'm sure.
Now, if I made that call and it's not done, I'll come out to make publicly so that I'm vindicated. I played my part.
Okay, right.
If Anthony says he's going to be, quite vocal on the government, he's going to be, because like that is one of his characteristics. But you see, the president cannot call people to order because he himself is an accomplished to what we are seeing. The problem.
What has the president done?
Let me demonstrate to you why. You see, there are supposed to be some kind of coordination between agencies and ministries to help with some of these things. Right. It's almost a year now. Who is our environmental minister?
All that is.
I'm asking you a question. Who is our environmental minister? Somebody needs to be at the helm of affairs. Somebody, and we rightly said that it was it comes down to leadership. Almost a year now, the passing of our two great men, amongst the 8, the Honorable Murtala Mohammed and also the Defense Minister, Lakomane Boamah. So now we've not have a substantive minister for these ministries. And you think in this coordination or like in this particular situation, these ministries are not supposed to see some kind of coordination. Today we are seeing the Minister for Local Governments on TV or at the Public Accounts Committee telling us that he's gathering database for shrines. Is that his duty? Because so you see, right now, if you are talking about Anthony, so you see, if you are talking about religious taking accountability or being responsible, I'm coming. No, so you see, what we are trying to say is that the heads that must rule. Anthony, I agree with him, but the president cannot, because he himself has not seen to the fact that some of these ministries and agencies are properly giving leaders, because at the end of the day we are good. People are supposed to be responsible. Today, with all the interviews and the call that you're making, if we had these leaders in place, we were going to have somebody to explain to us why they've not been proper coordination. Anthony, I'm sure you believe in this assertion. So you see, the president himself has not shown that. So there's no way that he can even come down to So a few months ago, the Greater Accra Regional Minister was telling us that the reason why she thinks she deserves that award was that she has solved the flood months ago. If we have people who do not acknowledge the problem at hand, and all that they will continue to do is to parade themselves and give us reasons why some particular award that you have to even pay for is given them. I mean, these are some of the things that today she's working with the president. Can she convince the president that she solved the flood situation, especially you coordinating with the various agencies under your region?
So she should be fired.
Anthony Riley said that.
Did I say that?
Doc, let me take your thoughts.
Where did I say it?
On leadership and what the right leadership steps should be in handling this situation. Because if we're here, we're talking about this, but we know the people, we know the MMDAs who are lagging when it comes to dealing with sanitation. That is their work. The regional minister goes to meeting with them. The local government minister goes to meetings with all of them, and they know per the KPIs. He went to the central region and talked about the MMDAs who are not doing well. He mentioned their names. So why should we not have those who are not doing well with sanitation being removed or given a warning that this and this? Then we see that indeed there's a full commitment to this, because frankly speaking, the Facebook posts and all of the writings, I mean, really, we've seen all of that. Doc.
Anthony really agrees that President Mahama has to be tougher than what we see now. Okay, we need leadership to drive these changes at the local level. You see, if you give a district chief executive an area to handle and represent you, the president, what it means is that every problem, any issue at all, that DC is expected, that MMDC is expected to address. But remember, addressing the problem comes with a certain level of responsibility. Responsibility comes with resource, okay? So if you give that authority to the district assembly, that I want you to solve the sanitation problem in the district, what it means is that you need to also give the needed resources. And let's look at the budgetary allocation for the assemblies, for example. It is just recently that the president, through the minister, increased the allocations to the district assemblies, which was far significant compared to the previous government. However, within the spirit of decentralization, these amounts are still as woefully inadequate. If you sit down and do simple division in terms of the various sectors at the assembly, education, health, mention all the other aspects, and then you see that about 5 million cedis or 3 million cedis going to, let's say, education or sanitation or environment in its entirety. What are we going to use that 3 million to do? Or 300,000 to do? Okay. Look at a typical assembly. There are so many things that assembly has to invest or spend as far as improving the environment is concerned. So if we really want to build the capacities, if we really want to make sure that the local assemblies are working very well, then we really need to push down resources to them. And you see, when you give me an authority or a responsibility, if you give me the resources, then you have all the justifications, you have all the justification to come and then demand proper accountability
for the work
that have been done. You have every right, every reason to say that I give you this resource, I give you this amount of money, I give you this amount of support to make sure that you address these problems. Based on the KPIs you have talked about, you couldn't do it. On that basis, I'm taking you off. Look, it's the reason why most of the times this reshuffling thing and sack him thing doesn't really work well. Because the leaders themselves, I mean, the president and the minister themselves, they know very well that the people don't have that capacity enough to address the issues comprehensively the way we all expect. And that is why you always find those at the top coming down when there are emergencies to come and support. Look at what we are seeing right now. The logistics that we find within the district, they don't have them. They don't have those logistics. And so the moment this exercise ends, all the cars and the machines, the trucks will move away. How do you expect the assembly to sustain that intervention? They will fall back. You understand me? And so we really need to rethink through this whole concept of decentralization and understand that we need the local assemblies well functioning for us to address the problems that we have at the local communities. I do not want to think in any way that DCs appointed are so incompetent that when you give them the resources, when you build their capacities, they will not be able to do the work and then bring the needed change that we all expect. Okay, and so we need that commitment. We really need that commitment. And look, the assemblies are suffering. Take it or leave it. My brother mentioned about the technocrats and everything. The technocrats are there. It's not that they don't know what they have to do. They know what they have to do. But they don't have the resources. They don't. Look, let me just take a typical institution like NCC. They are supposed to, the attitude part. I'm mentioning NCC because they can really work on the attitude part, the attitudinal part, where we have all been talking about. NCC has a very big role to play as far as changing the attitude of the Ghanaian public is concerned. Go to a typical district assembly and ask NCC how many trucks or how many cars do they have, even in moving around doing sensitization. Come again.
I can tell you, during my national service, I was posted to.
You were at NCC, yeah?
NCC going to White House.
So you were buying what?
For the time I got there, first day I didn't see anybody come.
Okay.
Second day I didn't see anybody come, because the room is just in White House going to is just one room with louvers that are off, the curtains off. When I went to say, hey, when
I went director,
they had to go somewhere. But you see, the resources we are talking about, it is very important. If you don't give them, just a quick one on this flood that's happening. NADMO, they lack resources. The worst of it is the Ghana National Fire Service. And the Fire Service, they don't have anything. They don't have anything. But as the floods happened, they could have come with those the cranes to help with that. They don't have tunics. They don't have oxygen mask. They don't have anything to work with. So so, Richard, you wanted to make a point.
you left us, that's where we are.
Okay, Richard, before you come, my colleague Kofi Otobe-Queen is here. Is on phone now. Kofi, can you hear me now?
Hear you.
Right. So tell me where you've been this morning.
Jesse, I'm currently at the Korle-Klottey constituency around Adabraka, Odona area where the flood got affected to a lot of people around this area. So the place is actually called Odona Sahara. It is a flood-prone area. So when you come to this place right now, there are a lot of major works ongoing, including dredging. We spoke to some of the authorities within the Korle-Klottey municipalities, and they told us that yesterday was dedicated for the cleanup exercise and major kind of demolition within the constituency. And today has been dedicated for the dredging, so the various dredging. So as I'm speaking to you now, and as you can see it from your shot, you could see that there's a car and cranes and things working led by the militaries and the assembly. So I have with me here the engineer for the Korle constituency, Engineer Davo, who can share with us some of the work they are doing since yesterday. What have they done so far? Engineer, welcome to Metro TV.
Thank you very much.
Since yesterday, what have you been doing? What has been the work so far?
Okay, so yesterday we deployed our men into four main groups. The first one is the one that we have here, that is Odona area. The second one is at Ministries. The third one at Tema Station, and then the last one at Osu area. So what we're doing is where we have a major drain or a major river like this, we do the dredging. We are doing this together with 64 regiments, and thereafter we arrange to get them cleaned. We started the collection yesterday. We were not able to finish because where they've been sending the refuse is quite far away from here. And so we continue with the collection. They are doing it, I believe that by the close of today, tomorrow, most of the collection will have been finished.
Today there is a dredging ongoing. It's a massive one going on here. What is the measures? I mean, I've seen only you, the authorities here. What about the participation of the general public too?
So, like I said yesterday, both the community members and the assembly, those working, we all did the cleanup exercise. We are continuing today. Individuals are doing those they are supposed to do in their various houses. When you go to Osu and other places, you see them bringing the refuse out from their houses. And so what we are doing is to collect them. We have done ours yesterday, but that is not to say that we are not going to fully participate in today's one. We are collecting them, we are again desilting the drains, we are dredging the river and everything so that at the end of it, the whole place will be cleaned. The whole of yesterday, you see the Sahara Park here full of refuse, but we've been able to clear all of them except those ones at the last corners over there. And we believe that by tomorrow, thereafter, everything over here will be cleared. And we are not stopping. Until everything is cleared, we will continue to do that.
Engineer, with this spot that we are standing right now, you could see that the drain or the gutter is not in concrete. And when it rains, you could see that it is eroding into the Sahara Park or the park that they used to play football. What are you doing about it?
Yeah, so this has been like this for some time now. We have two types of drains. We have lined and unlined one. This one sometimes also helps. It enables speculation so that if the water table is not high, anytime it rains, some of the water is supposed to seep underground so that the one that will be drained off will be quite few. Unfortunately, like you said, part of the side of the drain is being eroded. With time, I believe that the hydro or the assembly will come together and so they can get it lined. But they will look at it, first of all, design it, and then they get it done. Otherwise, if you just go and then use concrete on it, you may be creating another problem.
Okay, so from here, where are we going? I mean, is it only dredging? What are some of the work that we are going to do today?
We realized that when the time that the rain, the whole place got flooded, a lot of people fell in gutters because they were not able to see the location of the drains. And that is because some pavements have structures, on them. In the process of dodging the structures, they fell in the drain. And in the process, I understand one person even passed on. Wow. This time around, what we resolved doing is that we are going to demolish those structures. We started yesterday. We demolished some around Angola Street. We'll continue doing it. From here, we will continue to go and demolish those structures on the pavement. And especially those structures that are blocking the drains, we will take all of them off. We started yesterday.
Okay. So apart from this place that you are dredging, are you going to do the main one from the circle area, the Odo?
I think that had been done before the rain, but like I said the last time, because of the location of Odo in Korle-Klottey municipality, anytime it rains at the top, it brings the debris to fill it again. So I believe that when the level goes down and we are able to get access to the bottom, we will still do dredging over there.
Thank you very much, Engineer. So you just heard from the municipal engineer, Engineer Davo, from the Korle-Klottey municipality of where they are currently embarking on major drainage or dredging exercise at Odo Sahara Place at Adabraka area. So this is what is going on here. If anything, if you want to ask anything, I'm ready to listen to give the feedback. If there's nothing, then we carry on and give you an update if anything again.
Okay, Obi, we see the work happening in that drain.
Yes.
But there are also people around that enclave. I can see some kiosks and some other things there. What is going to happen to them? Because when there are issues with the floods, it actually affects them. What's the assembly saying?
Engineer, so can you answer this for us?
Yes, I think that the strategy we devise is, apart from cleaning the drains and then collecting the refuse, we educate the people. So yesterday we started with education. We told them, our chief executive, together with the Honorable Member of Parliament, Honorable Senator Rajima Rawlings, we went to them, we spoke to them, we explained to them for the consequences of being in these structures anytime it rains. So, yes, we keep on educating them. For now, when the education fails, or when we educate them and they still persist, they continue to live there, then we may have to enforce the law by
let me ask you a question, please. How long is the education going to take place before actual action is taken?
For now, the rain happened last Monday, and so we are doing the education alongside. At least we are giving ourselves about a month for the education. For them, those who have their structures to move them, those who have things in their structures should be able to move. And if it goes beyond that, then the municipal assembly will sit down and take a decision as to when they are going to move them finally.
Okay. Did you have a question for the engineer? No. Okay. Okay, right. Kelby, thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you. So if anything, we'll just give you a
Kelby, hold on with the engineer. There's a question from my panelist here.
Okay.
You want to ask a question?
Yes, I wanted to ask that. So you're talking about education. So when they are educated, where are they going to dispose of their waste into? Because looking at where the drain is and the structures, there's a likelihood that we are going to throw the waste that they generate subsequently into the drains.
What are the provisions being made to ensure that the education goes with the proper attitude change by ensuring proper waste disposal?
Kelby, did you get that?
I think the line dropped.
Yeah. So what Doc is asking is that, but are there plans in terms of the containers or waste bins that the people along that stretch will be able to dispose of their waste? Or where are they going to drop their waste? Because they're still along the banks. And if they don't have that, they'll definitely throw them back into the drain.
Okay. All right. So what we told them 3 days ago was this, that everybody should come to the frontage where we have the main road. They should park their refuse over there. The assembly will bring our trucks to come and collect all of them. Today, yesterday, today, and then tomorrow. But if you are not able to bring your refuse to these points, and then you leave it there up to Monday, then it means that our tricycles and other vehicles that go around to collect rubbish or refuse, they may charge you to collect them. So for now, our refuse containers that we place around, the dustbins that we place around, may not be enough to serve every house or every household. And so we told them that they should bring them along the route and we will come and collect them. In fact, that is what we started doing 3 days ago. Yesterday we continued and today we are continuing.
Okay, thank you very much. Kilby, thank you very much. I will come back to you for more on that.
In Dredge is the River Collie.
Yes.
So that river need a buffer. And that buffer must have trees to protect the river in the first place. Now, you are having containers and human beings settling there who do not have a place of convenience. So definitely, where would they ease themselves? So planning must take control now. Now look, we can't go this way. If we fail to bite right now because of votes, then we are not ready to solve the problem.
Okay, let's go for a break. Let's go for a break. When we come back, I've got to take this. When we come back, Richard, I'll give you your time. So you're still watching Inside Pages here on Metro TV with me, Desmond Okreku. So we're taking a break. When we come back, my panelists are still here. We have our reporters on the ground. Get to them. So stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
The pulse of a nation, rising, unshaken. When the Black Stars take the world stage, we don't just play, we bring the storm. Fuel the dream. Support the Black Stars. Storm Energy Drink. Make your mark. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to a mammy manful. Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so by, a man is swing, Nesansu Mama Hoto so a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600 360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking Publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Looking
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event ground and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us here on Inside Pages with me, Desmond Okrekudas. We're live on 94.1 FM on radio, also on DSTV channel 277. Richard Suma, Deputy General Secretary of the United Parties here. Shandov Boama, Communications Team Member for the NPP. Dr. Kwesi Dorfo Abeidu is also here. He's a sustainability consultant and lecturer at Unimac. And Anthony Nukmenu is Greater Accra Regional Organizer for the NDC. So we'll be wrapping up on this conversation about the sanitation. Whilst I get to some of my colleagues on the ground, we'll get into a conversation about this petition, about President Mahama should go for a third term and all of that. We'll touch on that also before we wrap up on the show. But Richard, you wanted to make another point before we went on.
Yes. I think the conversation we are having is of a national interest-driven one. And we are of the view that perhaps authorities, they listen or they hear us. There's a clear deficiency in terms of funding. Now, sanitation is actually under the Ministry of Works and Housing, you know. A Ministry of Works and Housing has a budgetary allocation of 1.46 billion annually. 2026 budget allocation for Works and Housing is 1.461 billion. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, this quantum of money is what they are supposed to use some on drainage and flood control management and all this thing. Some is used for solid waste management. We're also talking about behavioral change, liquid waste and infrastructure. But out of this same money, under Works and Housing, and we're also talking about sanitation, right?
Yeah.
Now, 20%, the total amount of money that is allocated by government to all the 261 MMDCAs or whatever they call them is 8.7 billion. So 8.7 billion is what is disbursed to all the 261 districts. So if 261 districts are going to disburse this quantum of money, how much is each assembly receiving? And each assembly is also supposed to do what they call their IGF.
Yes.
Out of their IGF, they also have to do what we call allocation of some amount of that money towards sanitation. So the bottom line is about priority. Priority. Some of us have maintained that Accra is completely out of control. Let us admit it. Accra is completely out of control. There is nothing anybody can do about Accra. About re-engineering, we have failed long ago. Human behavior, we have failed long ago. Planning, we have failed long ago. Enforcement of the laws, we have failed long ago. So what really are we holding on to that will give us a hope, like what Dr. asked, that what is our vision, what have we conceptualized, that in the next 20 years or 10 years, this is how we want our city to look like. What is our envisaging? Well, have we really envisaged something about that? Zero. So some of us from another school of thought, we are of the view that we should look at building a new administrative city in its entirety. Build a new administrative city, either it's in Eastern region or it's in Volta region for proximity. Okay. Then you can link it through a high-speed train and decongest Accra and ensure that all government ministries and agencies are moved to the new administrative city with proper housing provided for all government workers working in all the ministries. Even with that one, you can measure the time they come to work and the time they close from work. Are you with me? Then all these people who are going to be left behind, who are not government workers, we then now occupy all these buildings that are going to be available to us. Then Accra can be decongested. Accra need a proper decongesting. Now we are talking about breaking down houses. If you really want to break down houses to control flood, I can bet my last penny that we need to demolish about 50% of the houses that are in Accra.
Could be.
50%, because virtually every house in Accra is obstructing the flow of water in one way or the other. Please, are you with me?
Right.
So this argument of let's break houses, create passage for the waterway and all these things, it will not wash. It will not wash. I'm not a pessimist, but I believe that...
You don't think they'll be able to do that?
No. Our attitude, when Lee Kuan Yew was asked, how did he manage to turn the fortunes of Singapore around? He said the first thing he had to do was to work on the mindset of the people. Ghana is the only country, all of you can even be sitting in a commercial vehicle. The driver is driving recklessly. Recklessly. You be that one single person in the car to try and correct the driver. The same people who are in the vehicle, they will come after you. Oh, in a pentem, unkwa na oye say, unkwa na osro huana, unkwa na oye say. I think I can see banya enough in the biya say, oh, yeri. So our attitude, we cannot change it. That's why I'm asking you about the military. Are you getting my point?
The military to come in
because you see, our attitude is not good, and the only way you can bring forward a disciplined society when you put them under check and balance. But this issue of everybody should do whatever pleases him or her, everybody has fundamental human rights, everybody this, everybody that, everybody this. Where are you going? You are not going anywhere. You are not.
No, but of course, the excesses will be one that we need to talk to them about.
You know the order.
Yeah.
In the civilized jurisdiction where you know that people live near the river, the chances are that they will hit back everything back. After building that proper drainage, somebody would have thought there should be a high fencing protecting both sides of the river, or of the gutter, or of the storm drain. Are you with me? A high fencing, very high fencing. What do we call it? Not building, not block, bricks and block fencing, wire mesh, just ordinary wire mesh fencing. We would have fenced both sides of that drain from a bridge through to the sea. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
No, you see, if you do it properly, and the people in the community, they know that, yeah, this is it, and this is what we need to do to protect our own interest, they may be involved in it. Are you with me? But if you have the assumption that when we do it, they will come and cut it, then what are you really trying to solve?
And more so with the attitude. And
attitude is the problem. No, the point is that yes. So that one, at least government attitude is subjective. Are you getting my point? How do you control human behavior?
That's why you have laws.
You see, the human behavior, you see, our laws are there, but our laws are not biting hard enough.
As far as the laws are there, but we need
the laws are not being enforced.
But we have no,
they are there.
We have no excuse.
Implementation.
We have no excuse not to implement. We have no justification not to enforce the laws.
Not democratic.
It is in 4 phases. It is in 3 phases. Parliament enacts the law, isn't it?
Right.
The judiciary interprets and enforces the law, isn't it? Then your security services, the security services are the ones supposed to make sure that we sustain the enforcement of the law or compliance. But if you leave one leg, that we are quick at enacting the law, the judiciary is quick to interpret the law. But when it comes to the enforcement of the law, we don't have a proper leg to stand on. Where are we going?
So
behind influencing the processes.
Because when we talk about the laws, the AMA mayor has been going around, the Accra mayor has been going around trying to stop people from doing this, doing that. I spoke to the Christian Council of Ghana. I spoke to the spokesperson for the chief imam. They all agreed that we are having some of these issues because when someone is arrested, they will give them a call.
Yes.
To conclude on this one, just a quick one, draw attention. You know, today we are talking about the recruitment services and some country, is it 1,200 people that about HIV AIDS? respectfully, we live in this country. Remember that too now. We used to wake up and hear advertisements on radio and television on almost all major platforms, educating us and giving us that awareness about HIV. For the last 10 years, if you can go back in some retrospection, for the last 10 years, when was the last time you tuned into Metro TV or any other television and had any education or conscientization on HIV?
For the conversations that we have, the conversations that
please
we
are
have.
with me. So, the proper disposal of waste. When have you ever had any conversation or education on national TV or national radio? And the conversation is about what? Waste management. Say, now we say we had a rain on the 29th that has killed people, destroyed properties. I'm not sure if Metro TV will have us to talk about sanitation for 2 hours.
No, for that. We had a sanitation conference before the rain came in. And Zoom Lion, they're almost on Good Afternoon Ghana, Good Morning Ghana. Every time.
It hasn't been a priority. Yes. It hasn't really been a priority.
Yeah. Until it happens. And then it will be talked about for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, at most a month. And then the conversation dies down. And that's been one of the problems. I agree with that.
All my senior colleagues are saying about having a substantive minister for environment. It works. The environmental minister is not going to micromanage everything, but at least there can be proper coordination. Are you with me?
Yes.
Because that is his job, and he can also lobby for more funding to be released to what? The ministry, for them to ensure that we do proper sanitation. But the waste control, the waste management, the human behavior, funding gap. These are the things that we all know.
Okay.
It's not about politics all.
So you were talking about the District Assembly's Common Fund.
Yes.
So 8.77 billion. I made the division by 261.
Yes.
So every assembly is getting 33.6 million cedis.
When we have spent about 50, we are quick to spend about $98 million on trying to build a cathedral.
Shut up. No, when he said I wanted to say Shadow's face, but it's okay.
Shadow have been raising this issue for you, him and I will meet.
Describe a bed.
Even in the midst of all that, there were some measures that the MPP took during our time. It was not as if that when we were trying to erect the National Cathedral, we did nothing about it.
Measures like what?
No, that's why I'm saying that. On what basis was the rating of the World Bank given to us that it was moderately satisfactory?
I tried to look at some of the things that were supposed to be.
There were new drains, constructed. When you go to Lakachimota, there were new drains, constructed. We didn't finish, but I'm saying that so you see, like it's a continuous process. We couldn't finish before.
It was not constructed. It's being constructed.
Exactly, but I'm saying that since you guys took office, 1 year, 6 months down the line, tell me one, and I was able to. You see, I don't want us to do this back and forth, but I was able to list a 10-point, manifesto promise that you guys made under this sanitation and environmental protection. Not even one has been done. The 13.8 million that was left in the Garrett Fund, it was just last May that the Ministry of Finance went to put back the money into the coffers. We had World Bank reporting to us that the reason why we are seeing the heavy impact of this floods is due to the Ministry of Finance inability to release funds. Why do you come back to blame the MPP? 1 year, 8 months, is the MPP still in power? We shouldn't do some of...
World Bank didn't write any report.
So who controlled
MPP controlled reports.
World Bank see, these are some of the things that we shouldn't play politics with. Like we said, we need to find solutions.
Where we are, we don't need those rhetorics.
Exactly. So you need to remind Esuma that it has nothing to do with the NPP, because even in the midst of all that, we did stuff.
I'm only talking about as a country and our
so when you take a swipe at us that we wanted to build cathedral, did we do things? Was the sanitation ministry not like since the inception of this government? Has it not scrapped off that sanitation? Ministry.
I am saying.
Where is the Minister for Environment? We are talking about it now. Who are the leaders there to ensure that there's proper coordination? Today we have our local government minister talking to us that he's gathering the database of shrines. Is that his job?
He's a religious affairs minister.
Please. So you see, people need to be responsible. And the president himself, what has he done? He has done little to help us in this. 2024, he had all the reasons.
Or what measurable indicators have you spoken about that you achieved during your...
That's what I wanted to ask. With the sanitation ministry.
We have belabored the point. Like,
do you remember that even with that,
it does
when
not
the president
help the conversation at the moment.
Shut up! I'm coming, please. Even before that, when the president mentioned that Accra was going to be the cleanest city
in Africa,
did you see the heap of refuse in town at that time?
You see, in Suma's presentation, he was even talking about the fact that we should have a quarterly cleanup exercise. Do you know that during our period, during like our time in government, every month we had cleanup exercises. I frequent like Accra Central almost every weekend.
Hey.
Yes, we used to have a monthly cleanup exercise that the shops would be locked up. I'm telling you, like on authority, I frequent Accra Central.
It was
a monthly something that we used to do.
The national contest or being done by the
assembly. No. That AMA used to do that.
No, so like I'm saying that it was something that was like initiated. Why didn't we take it like a step forward? 1 year, 6 months down the line. When was the last time you heard that we are doing these monthly cleanups?
No, because the National Sanitation Day, as we had it,
and I'm not saying like 1 month, 1 year, 6 months down the line.
But we know the National Sanitation Day was instituted by President Mahama, right?
Of course, yes.
In his previous term. But when he was kicked out earlier, I don't remember the last time I had seen National Sanitation.
We have continued.
See,
every month, the first Saturday of every month.
No, that was
yes.
Officially by the government,
yes.
National Sanitation. So why did the president yesterday say that we have to bring back the National Sanitation Day? That was happening. The president said that yesterday.
We need to move beyond some.
It has continued.
At this point,
gentlemen, let's go to Achimota. Let's go to Achimota. Let's go to Achimota at the transfer station. Shadrach is there. Shadrach, what's happening there?
So this morning from Alado, we have moved to the Achimota transfer site here, and this is one of the main sites for the Zoomlion group of the company that is going to house most of the filth and silt that are going to be collected.
For the Zoomlion group of the company that is going to house most of the filth and silt that are going to be collected from the various locations and subsequently are going to be treated. So when you watch here behind me, you could see that some segregation has already gone on for this one. So you have metals and then cans in one net. You have some plastics also segregated in other parts. But this is outside. Let's try and get inside the transfer site and see what's going on. And then earlier when the president was speaking, he mentioned that he has charged Zoomlion Company Limited to open up most of the transfer sites so that they can take in more of the waste that are being cut from the various sites. So for the Achimota, this is the first transfer site here at Achimota Transfer Site A, and already all the refuse or the garbage that were brought in are being collected and then transferred to the next point. So you can see the tricycles offloading their waste, and subsequently it is going down the tunnel where it is being transferred. So when you check from your shot, you can see them digging into the pit here, but that's another transfer session or a channel. So as it goes through those sites, the segregation will be going on from paper to glass to organic waste and then other materials. So it's the organic waste that are subsequently being processed into the manure that is being manufactured by the Jospon Group. Last year we saw their contribution to government, or in the past government, under the past government, we saw their contribution to government's planting for food and jobs. The compost that were cooked from the various plants or waste management sites under the Jospon Group were used in supporting government's planting for food and jobs. Under this government, we are still looking at zero waste in the capital and still making Accra one of the cleanest cities in West Africa and to a larger extent Africa. So this is a positive one, because in the past days we have also gone through the conversations where some garbage collectors or waste collectors cry over their inability to deposit the waste they have collected in the various homes, or do not even have anywhere to dump the waste they have collected. But this morning we come here and then realize that the whole place is literally empty, which means Zoomlion Ghana Limited is gradually cooking up the waste that is being collected and brought in. And the long queues that were recorded in the past days outside have also reduced because all the trucks are coming in, and then the segregation, collection, and then transfer is gradually going on. And I must also say, we'll be bringing you visuals of that site later, but I must say that Zoomlion Company Limited is actually all poised ahead of this exercise or going forward, because the president mentioned it was yesterday and today, however admonished that cleanliness and sanitation practices cannot be 2 days. 2 days is never enough, so it has to be a lifestyle. So going forward, Zoomlion is supporting Ghanaians to get rid of all the waste in their homes and then the waste they are collecting from the various sites. So when you go to a site like JA Plant Pool, Zoomlion Company Limited has lots of trucks, new trucks it has purchased that is going to be used in supporting this work, from compactors to other wheel loaders, more tricycles, and then lots of trucks, 40-footer trucks, to be able to collect a lot of the waste or enough waste. And subsequently, all these are going to be processed into the finished paper products we see. Some, the plastics would also be put into pellets that are mostly used for the bowls and other plastic products we see on the market. So this is one site, and subsequently we will be also visiting the various or the other sites to tell you what is happening there. But so far, so good. Positive one from Ghanaians, and thumbs up to the Zoomlion Company Limited. Desmond.
Shadrach, can you engage one of them, the Abubuya riders, on how they operate? Because we will mostly see them on the streets carrying all of that refuse, but how do they go by them?
Come again, Desmond.
I'm asking if you can speak to any of the Abubuya riders there, and let's listen to them to get to know how they operate. Okay. Right, so Shadrach.
Okay, so currently, because I am at the main transfer site, we do not have most of the communication guys around, but as and when they come in, we would also pick some themselves from them, because beyond today, we want to find out what they are doing. Have they put any measures?
Okay. So my colleague Shadrach Odamie Jared there, reporting from the Achimota transfer station, showing us what is happening there. So you see a lot of them.
Okay, so let me get to the Abubuya riders and then get one of their bosses and then find out what's happening now with them and how they are feeling now that they are able to cut their waste. Boss, good morning. Mpacho, my boss, who is your boss here? Who is your boss here? Who can I speak to? So I am still trying to locate one of them or who their boss is. Boss, why?
Boss.
My boss, why? But me check my boss, why?
Boss ni on
my boss ni papa. Uncle Bacho be me kakra na me pese me bisa asem be me kakra. Anope me hu se sesia no bola na nkrofo esu hu na Abubuya fo su se omunya ba bi nhwengu me hu se afi de mo anya inside omu hwegu ye yibia akọ anope ejuma mu ti se ekosen
o aye juma na akọ ye ba sesia no nyama ya ba choka ani trase ane fakasie no ko sina aban ka se ya hiesie krom no omu kan se ka yambra na company na ya fie na ya sambra no binum nso a omu ba no omo nso no kae se omo timi nyamre no omo man ya omo hu se we no mu omo sa akọ we no mu de omo koye omo gima we no mu omo gusu ye gima wo baby amba nsa anu na ma gate na no achoku no sisi aya bi no me ya moto tunu na sisi kire no ya ba sa akọ alajo koye gima no ya mom na ya choke ha ya ntimi nya kwan
say anade nhihye na mo ya fa say be ya mo be hu say alajofo na
ntina na ahia say omo panyefo ya panyefo no binum na omo gina ho no omo na omo kirakira omo a omo ba afri alajo a ya ba dump bola no na omo mpene sa na ama aha no a choke sa shi ho.
So what he's saying is, for this morning, it's been okay. The work is going on steadily. However, there seem to be still a lot of people at the back there because the first directive this morning was after President directed that most of the field should be brought to the transfer site. They were expecting that leaders here would differentiate between those that have brought the field from different sites and then those that are working on government clean-up exercise. So for now, that is why they are standing outside, trying to differentiate between the two. Who is coming from the cleanup site and then who is also coming from the various homes or places they have collected individual waste from. So the priority now is to get all the waste and silt from the collected site or the cleanup site as directed by the executive chairman earlier and the president at Alajo and other locations. But I also have here Sophia Kujoji. She has been doing the rounds. I saw her yesterday and I'm seeing her today. Today, how has work been?
I think it's moving on. I must, however, confess that the numbers we had outside yesterday, today we have quite a number out, but it looks like more people are more aloof. You know, people are just watching. But we went to some places. The military are doing excellently. I've seen some military, NADMO, the Zoomlion team, and others. But the community members, some are also working. But the numbers that we had yesterday, I'm not sure. Possibly because they think they had done so much work yesterday and today. So, I suspect so, because what has happened is that most of the places, you see the heaps, you know, you see that they've done the work. So the heaps are there and it's being collected. But for the areas that the heaps have not been collected, they are just watching.
But the riders are also complaining that earlier there was supposed to be some partitions or differentiation or between those that are collecting the waste from Alajo and its locations, plus those that are coming from the individual homes, so that priority will be given to those that are coming from the cleanup exercise, wanting to dump their refuse and go back to collect the rest. How are you managing that now?
So I think that what is happening here right now is the numbers is being overwhelming. The numbers are here. Yes, but they have to go through the whole same process as everybody is doing. So it's quite challenging now getting those at the back to just leave the back and come, because those from the home, some of them are already here. So we are managing it.
You can't just turn them away.
No, you can't turn them away because they are already here. So you can't, and it's open for everybody. So everybody that's carrying waste, the priority was going to be given to them. We are trying to do that, but managing it has been a bit challenging, but I think we are on course.
Right, yeah. And I also spoke to Executive Chairman earlier, and we were discussing the new fleet you have brought in, and I mean with J Plant Pool and then the Zoomlion Group, all in the bid to ensure that we sanitize the system and then make sure Accra is rid of the filth. Where is this commitment coming from going forward? How much more are we supposed to get from J Plant Pool, Zoomlion or the Jospon Group?
Shadrach, I'm sure if you remember, our commitment is to improve the lives of people. Anything that we can do to improve the lives of people, that is what we do. And I think that is what has pushed us to be doing what we are doing today. I remember some years back, I'm not reminding anybody of their pain, but when Ghana has experienced a similar thing, we managed to get in town the machines for the dredging of the lagoons and others to ensure that the waterways are cleared for people, for the water to have its natural course. And that's what we are doing again, because we think that we need to replenish our stock or our fleet to ensure that we get more done within this this time to ensure that, I mean, we don't want to see anybody go through pain. Our joy is to see lives being improved in every way and every manner. Yes.
So on the whole, we won't say Zoomlion is giving themselves timeline. It's actually a lifeline for the Jospon Group and Zoomlion, committed to sanitizing the system throughout or in our everyday life.
I told somebody yesterday that for Zoomlion, waste management is our heartbeat. It's our heartbeat. That is what we do. And so whenever we see any situation like that, we become uncomfortable and we think something must be done about it. That's why we are bringing in more fleet. We are getting more personnel on the streets and making sure that we clear the waste that is surrounding us as much and as soon as possible. I mean, if you go through, we went through Nungwa, Kaokudi and others, there's massive collection of the waste going on, and we think that that is what our joy is, making sure that the job is done.
But before I let you go, is this also replicated nationwide, or we are just seeing it in the Greater Accra region?
It's being replicated wherever the president has declared that we should do that. So we are doing it nationwide. We're doing it nationwide.
Sophia, thank you so much for speaking to us. So she has been roaming from yesterday, like I mentioned. I was with her, and already you could see the tricycles lined up, waiting for their turn to do the dumping of the waste. But Desmond, this is the situation on site, bringing our viewers up to speed on the cleanup exercises and all the nuances around it. We will still be here. I would want to later visit the J.A. Planpool site with the executive chairman and the other group here to see how much ready the Zoomlion group is, or the Jospon group is, because I know there are new fleets that are being committed to this exercise. So not just yesterday and today, but going forward, it's going to be done every day. So that is it. We'll still be around feeding you live on whatever happens. Desmond.
Thank you very much, Shadrach Odami Ejari, our presidential correspondent. But today he's reporting from the Achimota transfer station. He was earlier at Alajo with the president, and he showed us what is happening there. We're going to wrap up on the sanitation issue and get into some other things, because I want to talk about some other things, the petition, and just a quick one, and all of that. But you know, we're talking about the national sanitation, and I wanted to touch on that. We know that when President Mahama came in earlier, that was when it came in, and then it was discontinued. And then in September last year, the president relaunched it, but it's not been followed really as a national sanitation day. So that is it. So maybe the what you were seeing was maybe some area people want to do their own cleaning, and we're doing all of that. But let's wrap up on this. Doc, you've been speaking for a while, so closing remarks on this sanitation issue.
Very well. So I think that moving forward, really, we need to change our strategy. We need to really revise our strategy in terms of sanitation. Okay, I don't want to say things that will be so overwhelming for us to do, especially when it comes to the implementation. But we can start with the little things. We need to move away. We need to move away our thinking from mere disposal and dumping to recycling. When we start thinking about recycling, I think it will drive even the attitude. It will drive a lot of things, so that eventually we'll get things, the waste recycled. Because the thing is that if we continue this way, the business as usual, where we are always generating waste and dumping, trust me, a time will come, the whole city, the whole country will be swallowed with waste. And so we need to look at how we can change the strategies, the systems in place, so that it will help make recycling easy to do. Look, as we speak now, we know Zoomlion is doing a lot of our recycling, but they are really suffering when it comes to doing proper recycling, because the waste that goes there is mixed up of all sort of waste, from, sorry to say, human feces to food waste, all sort of things being put together, and then we dump them. So it even makes the recycling very, very problematic. And so we are pleading, we need to really look at how we can start from the very little busy things that we can do. And I wish today, I would say that government should procure thousands and a lot of bins into the system, so that people can dispose waste properly. Because the whole thing about recycling starts from proper disposal. When we are able to dispose the waste into the bins, then we can easily and comfortably carry them to the dumping site or the landfill site for them to re-engineer it and recycle and all that. I wish I can talk about waste separation today, because that is what we are supposed to be eyeing. That is supposed to be our end goal, that we separate waste. That we have various bins in the cities and the communities whereby if it is food waste, I have to put it in this bin. If it is plastic waste, I need to put it in this bin. If we're able to do that from the source, then it even makes the recycling topic or discussion very simple and easy. However, I will not sit here to say that Ghanaians today can do a waste separation. So I will just admonish that let's start from here. Let's give ourselves 1 or 2 years, encourage, ensure proper waste disposal attitude for the people. Then maybe in the future, we can now think about moving into a waste separation, and I think it will eventually help in the recycling agenda. And so we should move into recycling.
For Beidu, Shandoff, two minutes.
I think we've made the point over and over again that as Ghanaians, in as much as we need to, or leadership need to take responsibility as people we need to also acknowledge our civic responsibility as a people. That before leadership also comes in with their plan and all of that, let's make sure that we protect the environment. And how do we protect it? We need to have a change in our mindsets that would eventually transcend into our attitude, how we also deal with waste in our various homes, proper segregation of waste, like Doc was saying. That is a first step, because other developed countries, they do not mix these bottle plastics together with the other waste that we do. So I think it is one step that we need to take as a people, and also government should also come out with a clear roadmap on sanitation. And since Anthony is here, I want to use that opportunity for him to tell the president, because I do not think that the NDC is bereft of competent people to man some of these ministries. If people have failed, let them be reshuffled. And especially with the environmental ministry, we need somebody to man there. Somebody needs to be in charge and to also help with proper coordination. Because for me, the NDC have got so many bright minds that the president can appoint and make sure that, yes, I can appoint and make sure that they man the various offices. So please, Anthony, tell Mr. President that people need to man that. People need to man that office so that at least we can have some level of accountability. Okay. And I think with that, and we should go. It's not going to be something that we are going to see, the results early, but it's going to help us in the long run, with how we are able to deal with some of these floods issues. Because I've read somewhere that the rains are yet to come. What we've seen now is not even, the end of it. We are going to have some more rains again. Yeah. So please, let's not engage in this 9-day wonder thing, these knee-jerk reactions, but then let's come up with a proper plan to helping us deal with these sanitation issues.
Thank you very much, Shandoff. So let everybody there, Anthony, your government, so we'll leave everything on your head. So Richard, wrapping up on this, your final words. On the sanitation? Yes, on the sanitation.
Oh, well, the sanitation thing, it looks like we've been pouring water on stone, because we've spoken about this over and over again, and it seems the challenge still remains with us. And as a matter of fact, when it comes to environment, the things you sow is what you are going to harvest back. Our attitude towards the environment as a people is not good. Our attitude towards how we dislodge waste is not good. And our investment in that space as to what we can do, recycling, converting waste into energy, finding various innovative ways of turning these things into something. There is something they say in Japan, which says, turning poison into food. Here, we don't have that mentality. We don't have that mindset of how we can convert poison into food. If you are generating so much waste, if it were to be some other jurisdictions, by now they are thinking about what they can do out of this waste in terms of generating power that can be used by households. But here we are, surrounded with the filth, engulfed in it, we sleep in it, we wake up in it, and everywhere you turn in this country is filth left, filth right, and it is all about the attitude. Because as for the filth, you cannot prevent anybody from generating filth. Because the moment we are always consuming things here and there, waste will always be part of you, like how the Bible says the poor will always be with you. Simply put, waste will always be with us because we constantly generate waste. But as to how innovative we can be, like what Doug from Sustainable development with all these individuals they have, people who have studied in various academic fields, studied about environmental management. Do you know people who even studied environmental management and all these things, they finish school some 6 years, they don't have a job? People who went to study environmental management and environmental health, people who went to study, who have to be fitted into NADMO and Co. Do you know 6 years they don't have work? The last time they said a body was found in Alajo Gata, a gentleman said he has to be paid 2,000 before he removed the body. And you see 5 NADMO officers standing by the gutter who cannot even enter it. But at the end of the day, are taking a big salaries. You have people in NADMO who cannot even swim. But you say it's a National Disaster Management Organization, they can't swim. So what is the criteria for employing people into NADMO?
Honorable Wallace Bojo, I don't know whether he's your uncle.
So
you talk like him.
So in other words, we should make sure that we are resourcing. Yes.
NADMO officers cannot swim. So what skill did they have that they got into NADMO in the first place? I saw the last time I saw some fat man be a woman. I started watching and said, "Auntie, mommy, we in so toys about me and be near." And parano, they were standing on the fence negotiating with the man inside. Ava. I rest my case.
Anthony,
well,
it all lies on the head of your government.
The situation has taught us that, one, as a government, we need to realign a lot of policy direction and have a proper coordination towards fixing or facing the challenge. I will say in the immediate term, ministries of roads, Western housing, local government, environment, and finance should form a proper coordination unit. Finance, because at the end of the day, whatever they plan, whatever they put, whatever strategy they put together must be heavily planned. Expenditure must be taken care of, so that maybe the mid-year an emergency funding should be made available to be able to look at the environmental management. Where we are today, roads are cut off due to the flood. Ghanaians are not seeing much from the roads unit in terms of community connectivity. That is why you see transport hike and transport not going to certain areas and people suffer. So they need to come on board. We are faced with waste disposal and waste collection. It's something that must be budgeted for with immediate effect. But you see, the developed countries see waste as resource, and that's how they are able to confront it.
Right.
We are continuing seeing it as waste, so we think we can't do anything about it.
Because with the waste we generate, if we really wanted
it's
to
a
look at
huge
it from
resource.
that monetary value,
I get me. So the kind time we consciously said that this is a resource, and I think that is one thing Dr. Japon saw as a resource to be able to turn around, and is able to invest in the various areas to be able to confront it. Even though he's having bottlenecks and challenges, but I think for all these years, he has stood tall. All I urge him to do is to continue engaging all other partners in the players in the sector to be able to understand the vision he has. Because one of the things he has ever said in our head that he wanted to do was to be able to rally all these Aboboya collectors into one umbrella, educate them, put them in a formalized way, and even provide logistics, the Aboboya, so that he can regulate them. So when you are under his umbrella and you go out to collect, when you come to a transfer station, you are paying a certain amount. But if you are not in that umbrella and you come, your amount will be high. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
This is where some of the challenges came. People thought he's monopolizing the sector. Why is he trying to? But I believe that it's a fine plan. Because the moment I own a transfer station, I own a segregation plant, and you are bringing, and I want to let you know how you bring your waste. I want to regulate you. So at the collection point, this and this and this you must do before you bring it. when you bring, this is how much I will charge you to do the extra work. You don't want to fall in that plan. When you go and collect your, you don't come to my site.
Okay.
And that is why the backlash came. Because all these guys, because they are not regulated, they go and collect, take their money, put in their pocket, go and hide somewhere in the night.
Okay.
And somebody also created a laffa dumping site. And we all seeing it too. Police, everybody were seeing it. Until there is a disaster before we are talking about it. So
in other words, the lip service is
yes,
okay.
so proper coordination from today, from all these ministries that I have mentioned, so that they all put what is, because when you construct a highway and you leave connectivity, connecting roads, and it's gathering dust, huge sand and gravels, when the water comes from that place onto the covered drain, what are you going? It's going to have it will be silted, and when it's silted, people also dump their waste somewhere and it's collected. So when they don't connect and coordinate, I think at the end of the day, we'll come back here and be talking about this thing. We don't need to come back and be talking about this thing.
Okay.
The plans are there, the minds are there, the brains are there. They can work.
And then we have to wrap up on this. Yeah. Okay, so let's get to work. That is a core to his government. Then let's get to work. On this table, there have been a lot of messages that are being channeled to the president through you. so when you get there, and then you just
noted.
Really the messages to the president. So let's quickly touch on a different topic as we continue here. So I'm sure you've heard the news of a Ghanaian citizen who has filed a writ at the Supreme Court seeking a declaration that a person who has served 2 separate or non-consecutive terms as president remains eligible to contest the presidency again. And well, this is more about getting the interpretation of the law and what the law says. So the suit was filed by Ganiu Al-Hassan, a teacher from Pandai in the northern region, against the Attorney General. It was launched by his solicitor, Kwesi Frifa. And so this issue has come up once again. And in Article, that is 66(2) of Ghana's Constitution, it says that a person cannot be elected to hold the office of president for more than 2 terms. Now, the conversation is about President Mahama coming in earlier in 2012 and now in 2024. So the understanding of that, let me begin with you, Shandov. You really think that there's a gap that this provision in the article needs to, like, we need to find an interpretation to that? Do you believe there is? Or it's already clear?
For me, I think it's clear. Whoever that is pushing this agenda, this thing came up some time ago. I think somewhere early this year. But in fact, like, it started around last year, and if I can,
the president was asked also, and he said that
exactly because President Mahama himself had already made that session that he's not interested in contesting again. And I think during the 31st December program, you had the NDC's General Secretary, Mr. Fifi Kwete, make a very strong wording that people who are calling for the president's third term or to seek another term are sycophants. And that was the very word he used. For me, I think, and even the chairman, Asedun Ketia, has also, when I think asked on other media platforms, has made that assertion that yes, as a party, they are not considering something like that. So I do not know why persons are trying to push that agenda and all of that. And you see, make it make sense. So supposing President Mahama tries to even contest again, and he does not win the 2028 election, does it mean that he's going to stand again, contest maybe in 2032? And if maybe he wins again, meaning like he's beginning a new term again, per the logic that people are trying to advance, if he's supposed to maybe contest in these 2028 elections and he loses, now when you contest in 2032 and he wins, does that mean that he's able to contest again maybe in 2036? Is that the logic that we are trying to push here? For me, I think it's neither here nor there. That it's clear that he's done the first bits up until 2017. He went and I'm like he's come back. Once he's done with this term, he should just vacate the position. The NDC for me has got people who are capable enough. Only maybe they do not believe in that assertion, because I've heard Mangu Kwesipa talk about the fact that the people who are eyeing the seat of the presidency for him, none of them is qualified. Maybe if the NDC believe in that assertion, fine. But for me, I think the president has done enough. He should also vacate the the position for somebody else to continue. And yes, I think that is it. Like, I do not believe in that assertion. And for me, on what basis again is President Mahama going to campaign? Yes, like that
so far as there will be an election, you would have something to say.
So you see, let me put it in proper context. Every single promise that these people gave to Ghanaians, they've not been able to implement none. Today, I think somewhere last week, we've been complaining months down the line that cocoa farmers were owed. Anytime the NPP raised that assertion, the NDC say, oh no, like if we release some money. So just up until last week, that's some 2.6 billion out of the 6.5 billion owed cocoa farmers have been released. As to whether they are going to be given the money is something else that we can talk about. Today we are having high standard of living across the country, or with goods and services. These were not the promises given to us by the president. Teachers are still not paid after 30 months of service. We have nurses being in the house and other things not done to them. All the promises that the NDC made to us prior to the 2024 elections, they've not been able to execute them. So on what basis would even the president have that courage to come and ask for Ghanaians for a third term again? So please, I think we should just put this one behind and let's search for it. Let's see people who are going to give us some fresh thinking as Ghanaians. And because, like I mentioned, the NDC, the leadership has already, given that assertion that there isn't going to be any run for President Mahama again. I think that's where settles the course, and there isn't any gap for me. Okay. There isn't any gap in the constitution. In the constitution. Okay. Once the president is done, he should exit vacate the office, and a new president should take over.
But Richard, what implications is there, for our political space that the president himself has said that, well, I mean, those doing that, the party has spoken about it. But there's still people who are pushing and trying to get something to be done about, or seeking interpretation, or whichever, as you sort of put the agenda for this. Meanwhile, the person who is involved says that I don't want to. What's that?
Oh, no, it is not in the bosom of the president to say, I don't want so. We are testing the law. It's a democracy. The law prescribes in Article 2(1) of the Constitution that any citizen who has anything to do with constitutional interpretation, you seek for it at the Supreme Court. So if citizens felt that, look, per what is enshrined in the Constitution, it didn't say consecutive time, 2 consecutive time outright, makes you ineligible to contest again. But they just said it that it's 2 terms. But as whether it's conservatively or not, that one is a subject for interpretation. But I don't believe the Supreme Court, as it stands now, most of it, if you read the 66 that the Constitution is talking about, it is either 2 terms is 2 terms, whether it's
consecutive
or there is an upbrushing and then you came back, you have served 2 terms. There is no ambiguity about that. Are you getting the point? So, when the president himself too is not having any personal interest of continuing again, I am not sure this will fly. But let us go to the Supreme Court. Let us test the law. If the law say, oh well, per the interpretation of this, because he went home for 8 years, isn't that the case? Before coming back again, isn't that the case? Yeah. So the question would be that your first 4 years, the break of 8 years, does it nullify it and give you the opportunity to go another 2 times? But that will still beat the mind if we should agree on that. Because that would have made himself 3 times, not 2 times.
Okay. But just for the testing of the law and what it says.
Oh, I agree. It's a democracy. It's a democracy. Okay. We are all struggling. Right. It's a democracy.
Doc.
Yes.
I mean, for me, at this time and age, for us to even go back to this discussion, I think it's quite anti-democratic, to say the least. But I agree with my brother to say they need to test the law. But we have discussed this thing over and over and over again. I don't know what motive yes, the motive behind. But look, beyond everything, we had a constitutional review committee with astute lawyers, experienced people. including Charlotte Osei and all the guys, they have given us a very nice report. If you look at the Constitutional Review Committee's report, page 19, it spells out clearly that even the interpretation of the Article 66, there's no ambiguity in it. They stated this in the, 1.1 of their chapter 1 towards effective presidency. They stated it clearly that there is no ambiguity. They are not judges, yes, but we can equally question their legal powers, okay, in terms of the understanding of this discussion as far as the presidency's term is concerned. They have indicated clearly that there's no ambiguity in there and that there is no need for us to talk about, it is 2 terms. That is what this, and they indicated that there's no even need for us to think about the 3rd term office and all that. What they proposed was to extend it from 4 years to 5 years, okay, which we know yes, they are still discussing to see whether that 5 years, we should look at the 5 years instead of 4 years or not. So at this time, if you want to talk about the presidency coming for a 3rd term here and there, for me, it doesn't suffice. It doesn't really suffice. Okay, and it won't do us any good in any way as far as the current democratic dispensation is concerned. It's not just about President Mahama. Even if President Mahama is off, he's not interested. For any other leader, this 3rd-term thing will not work as far as best practices are concerned, as far as how we even run our democracy is concerned. So I think, yes, the Supreme Court can give their judgment. They should look at this and give their judgment because it's their right also. So they should give their judgment. But I think we should let this thing die off once and for all so that we can focus on the very important things that we need to discuss as a country.
So Al-Hassan Zureit is arguing that this provision, properly interpreted, only bars someone from serving 2 consecutive terms and does not disqualify a person who has served 2 separate and distinct non-consecutive terms from contesting the presidency. Again at the doorstep of your... This one...
Who are the people?
The person who put the writ together is a teacher in Pandai, in the northern region. It's called Ganiyu Al-Hassan.
He's not thinking about how to improve his life. This is what is his priority. Some people just waste time on certain things. Who are you going to fight for? What is his interest? Who is he fighting for? Me, the world that I lead, what matters to improve my life and my family matters to me more than some of these fights. So he has money to hire lawyers to go to Supreme Court
put together a 34-page document.
He has money, a teacher, Bandai. Well, that may be one of his motivation. But or maybe
he's just a Ghanaian who is testing the law.
Testing which law? This law has been tested and fenced a long time. This thing we've heard it. So the man himself has even made it explicitly clear. As you said, the recent Constitutional Review Committee has come out and made all of us aware. So what are we? I don't think there's anything to discuss about this thing. But well, maybe you want to put the Supreme Court judges to work. That's all. But I don't think we as a party or President Mahama is anywhere interested in going for a 3rd term. The man himself has told us he has put his best to the nation. Posterity will judge. And there are other people who... Yeah.
What the Constitutional Review Committee said.
Yeah.
The committee proposes no amendment to Article 66 as we find no ambiguity regarding its meaning and no need to extend the 2-term limitation on the number of terms a person may be elected to hold office as president.
There's nothing.
I agree with it. The African country doing 5-6 years. What is the difference between them?
But on a small one, Shandoff, if we said, what is President Mahama going to campaign on again? Should he be? What is Baumia coming to campaign on?
Like, do you want me to respond to you?
You don't have anything to respond to.
No, like
where you go that?
No, like if
so for me,
on that,
I think let's put the country to a productive end. So people should look at productivity. It's a teacher. Should come. He shouldn't waste his time.
You see, like Anthony is trying to remind him that for 13 months they've not been paid their salaries.
Who has not paid teacher salary?
They've not paid. That's what.
Who has not paid teacher salary?
But he said you should mind, as a teacher.
He has money to come to court.
No, but like,
did he say that? Who has he paid teachers?
No, so but I'm like,
and
but
even the cocoa issue you brought.
Yes.
Where did you get that figure? 6.something billion not paid to.
But how much are they owed?
The last record shows that they have been paid, and even LBC has been given additional money.
There was an initial.
No, Shando, sometimes when
there was an initial pushback that even those earlier. I'm coming. Those by the farmers themselves, even by the.
Cocoa doesn't pay farmers, it pays LBC.
But the LBCs get exactly, and they will even say that they've not.
If a farmer is complaining about not payment, then who is
the LBCs themselves? No, so who is the cocoa farmer going to take the money from? Like
LBC.
Exactly, and they are saying that they are not even receiving.
Which LBC is making claim that Cocoa doesn't pay him or her?
Anthony, we are in this country.
So we have just about 20 minutes to go. I want to touch quickly on the Cocoa Kitty because for me.
Minister said we chop the tea. What is the problem?
No, because when we talk about this government and the reason why they were voted into power, some of these policies that they talked about, that it would be a revolution. It will bring a lot of things to people. We've seen the minister go around, in fact, in Kukwon everywhere. But then the minister goes to sit before the insurance committee. And let me read that. Let me read this. It says that the Kukwon Kitikiti beneficiaries have been consuming the beds given to them for rearing. And we've seen some of the videos on social media.
What was the orientation?
But it was launched, and I'm sure everybody who is going to be part.
You see, in anything, president does launching. And the idea was put out there. So this whole distribution was supposed to be done through the various MMDAs, through the municipal chief executives and directors of Agric. When members of parliament went and hijacked the thing and made it their benefit. So when a member of parliament gives something to a citizen, at the end of the day, are you getting me? At the end of the day, do you think that citizen that was giving thinks he's accountable to somebody? He thinks it's a free bono because he or she voted.
Okay, so Anthony, let me ask you to hold on, and Richard, quick one on this, and then you can take leave of us.
Oh, as for the Nkukon Kitikiti, the bet is a government policy. But we all know, as usual, as for government politics, it has a maturing period. It is not something government can propose anything today and then all of a sudden automatically want to see it fester or want to see it prosper. It needs time. We need to do what we call case study, do a proper assessment of it. In as much as I know that it may still not be able to augment the quantum of product we import into this country, frozen food product, it will not be able to, it will be a drop in the ocean, but at least better than nothing at all. As we speak today, I don't know how many people have received the Nkukon Kitin so far. And the Nkukon Kitin too, I don't know what is the end game in mind. Do they want it to be produced for household consumption, or they want to produce it for it to feed factories or feed institutions that will be able to dismember all the chicken product and supply? Or I just don't know the vision behind it. But as usual, government will always come and throw something at us, and then if you want to probe it further, they say, oh, don't probe it. It is just a matter of time. So we are waiting. If by next year we can measure and say that we've been able to receive this quantum of Akukon Kitinkiti, it's been able to balance our trade deficit in terms of what we are importing and what we are exporting, at least in a good direction. I just hope and pray the Akukon Kitinkiti too will not land in Burkina Faso as we were told the Guinea fowl did. If for Stoma, if this time they should land, at least they should go and land in Volta region. They should go and land in Volta region where the citizens will still be. It shouldn't go beyond the borders of Ghana. We beg them.
Richard, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
You know, we are begging, you know, some of us must, you know, this sanitation, you know, as I'm here, you know, I chop hot. You know, small barrier, he knows the place, small barrier, that place not a water-prone area, but that's this knee-jerk reaction, because that place doesn't flood, barrier itself doesn't flood. Knee-jerk reaction, those of us who have small businesses, I'm being told that military and caterpillars are there, breaking down everything, but that place don't flood.
Oh.
So if not for this issue, there wouldn't be this knee-jerk reaction to go and do a breakdown businesses. I, for one, at least I have 3 employees there. So if you break it down, but it's not a flood-prone area. So why would you go and break it down? That's what I've been told. Old barrier. They are breaking down with military and excavators as we speak now.
Is it not the encroachment by the road?
It's not actually by the road because it is the side of the road, and that place nothing is being done there. And the Ghana's economy is virtually what?
There is a nuisance value there, so it must be
it's
taken care
informal
of.
sector. It's an informal sector business.
Yours.
Yes, I have a small business.
There is a nuisance value there. It must be taken care of.
No, it's not a nuisance.
The place must be sanitized.
No, it's because at the end of the day, do you have a plan to do something there?
Yes.
I'm not saying they should. If they think it is worthy of demolition, they can go ahead and demolish it. That is not of my business. But the point I'm asking is that when you demolish that, is that going to be the panacea for all the drains that is from Atala? You know the heap of sand that comes from that place. They should be thinking about the engineering work they can do to stop the sand from coming down.
Okay.
The sand take over the entire road, so the water cannot find its way.
The development is
So
stampeding
you
the
have to
project
take care of
completion.
That, right? So thank you very much, Richard, for coming. Richard Suma is Deputy General Secretary for the UP.
Sorry if you are losing your business, but we must fix the country.
Yeah, so
it's not an
so
issue.
Richard is going to take leave of us.
It's not an issue. It's not an issue.
He's got to get that working, and so Fortune, just help me with. Right, so we're talking about the Nkwo Kitikiti, and you were making a point. Yes.
The president launched it and gave the framework what his target was, what really he wanted to achieve. And the ministry was supposed to collaborate with all MMDAs, chief executives, and their directors of agric to be able to go on the implementation, 50 bears per household. So at the end of the day, it was, I think, 500 households identified in each district to receive the 50 beds, to be able to grow, and then there will be an off-taker. Then whatever money they realize, then they will now go back and do what? Purchase the chickens, and then start growing and be transforming their lives. Are you getting me? Now, this whole distribution did not meet the plan. It didn't meet the plan. It was all like members of parliament hijacking the process. When a member of parliament gives out chicken to a voter, the voter thinks for him it is his benefit after voting for that member of parliament. So they really grew, reared the chickens. There were mortalities, but some got 40 out of 50, some got 35 out of 50, some got 50-50. And the chickens came to maturity. At the end of the day, what was accountability for a district director of agric to be able to go monitor and make sure, Kwame's 50 bears are ready, Ama's 40 bears are ready. So this is the plan to offtake, get them the money, and then give them another chickens to grow. So when there's no monitoring and evaluation, people the thing I can't buy feed again. Won't I chop?
Then that's a big problem because this is a flagship program for the government.
So Frank, this is what happened. Members of parliament hijacked the process, thinking it is their bona fide. So no assembly chief executive can account for it. Because you supply the things. And who are the lead in this thing? This is the problem we have with ourselves. And I was so appalled when the distribution started. Because the accounting books that were even given for you to register with your biodata, blah, 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 everything will be queued before you receive it. Was it done so? So the
because anybody can just come up and say that, okay, I've been given this. There's no, and even me with what the minister says. I mean, I didn't see any, because the flagship program. Until if it's not going as it's supposed to be, he's telling us,
continuity is zero now.
So he's telling us that some have decided to kill and eat all. In fact, they were even sending me videos of that. Honorable, we are eating everything, but this is not meant for that immediate consumption. I mean, really. Sort of why it's
It's sad. It's sad what we are seeing. But for me, I'm not surprised because this Nkwo Kitikiti issue that we are talking about is just the reflection of an incompetent party who are in government. and their deliverables. I mean, this is not the only policy that is failing. The most talked about 24 hours economy. What has happened to that policy? Was that no campaign on?
It's been launched.
Didn't we make noise about it?
Was it an event?
Didn't we talk about it? Today, do you know what is happening in that regard? Schools are being break down.
As what?
For the market thing?
Exactly. Today, the 24-hour economy policy that was going to ensure that young people are going to have jobs.
Which school is being broken?
Anthony, I'm coming. You see, young people are going to have jobs and they're going to run the job 133 shift, are now being
what is that when they give people topic? You won't talk about it.
Anthony, let me just No, you see,
where was a school broken?
Oh, Anthony. On your portal, there's a video that you guys were asking the MC in that region that how come they demolished these people's classroom, the C-unit classroom. And the MC in that area said it was the directive by the president and that they wouldn't be able to defy the orders of the president. And what was it supposed to pay way for? For the construction of a market. Was that the promise that they gave us in 24 hours economy?
Are you confirming
so
that
I'm coming. I have the video here. I could furnish your producers if they want.
I'd seen that, but also with our reports, we've also seen a couple of places where the residents of the area
let me just make my point. See,
Anthony is only happy with whatever structure that is taken off to build the market.
You see, Anthony is just uncomfortable because you see some of these things, like it's hard to defend. Because what we were told prior to the 2024 elections was not the building of markets.
Okay. Let's start with Nkuko because that's...
So like I said, it's not surprising because the 24-hour economy as a flagship program you said has not seen the light of day. So then tell me what was the thought process with this?
I've just given you the thought process.
Exactly, but you are also really mentioning to us that proper planning was not done, no proper supervision.
I didn't say proper planning.
It was just to help give it to parties like politics and all of that, just as more of like a thank you thing. That is why we are going to have people today. Like there's the video here where your party people are telling us that yes, what was the end goal? What were you supposed to achieve with that policy? So you see clearly, the NDC from 2024, when they were making all the promises to Ghanaians, did not really do a very thought-out plan throughout all the policies that they've given us, and that is the result that you are seeing today. So I'm not surprised, but you see, what I am actually scandalized about, with is that on the floor of Parliament, I saw the majority leader, Honorable Ayariga, making light of the matter. When I think our deputy chief whip was, I think he made a statement on the floor when it was supposed to be followed by his preliminary comment about this thing, trying to make sure that his thinking is that our member of parliament is trying to raise that issue because the Bokon Kitikiti did not get this is taxpayers' money. Over 200 million Ghana cedis has been wasted down the drain. And we just want to make a laugh about it.
Please. Figures that don't have material to back.
It's a shame.
So the first phase, according to the Poultry Farmers Association, they say that it's been an abysmal failure. And we know there's supposed to be a second phase.
Yeah, it's true.
From what we've seen, if things don't change, then it will be worse than
so they shouldn't go the route.
We are going to say
on the first phase. They shouldn't go that route.
Other policies because there were no
people should come and register and own it as if they are going to do productivity business. Not people to come as if I don't have the coup to continue rearing chicken, I don't have any business going to take chicks. So people must go to the disassembly, register with the relevant office,
and then they must show the capability.
The Agric department must go inspect the coops, give all the necessary technical advice, and then be able to go and stock that coop and monitor and make sure the person follow all the laid down procedure. At the end of the breeding point, when these chicks come to life, there must be an off-taker. The amount of money that is realized must be used to restock that coop so that it is a recycle. Are you getting me? But when you leave the people, you just call them to a center, share it, and they are carrying it like this, going to their home. You think he's going to do something better? Some people have zero mortality. The 50 they took, they never had one.
They can't account for it.
To be able to like 100%
there are certain
mortality. Things that needs to be done. One, there should be a clear problem definition. What was the goal in itself? there is also to be an evidence to support that policy. Like Anthony said, what was the data? What amount of mitigations were we trying to achieve with some of these things? What were the data backing our imports of these frozen foods, and what numbers were we trying to reduce? That is one. Also, what were the feasibility studies done? Like the people that we handed these chicks to. What kind of feasibility studies did we do to ensure that these people were capable of handling these chicks? At the end of the day, if monitoring, like what we said, like evaluation tool, like it's not done, this is what we are going to see. So clearly, there was no thought out plan, and it was just one of those charades. And yes, the NDC managed to have won power with that, and over 200 million Ghana cedis wasted like that. It's a shame.
If you start quoting figures that don't have any material to back, where's 200 million Ghana?
So like, how much was coming? No, let Anthony
is not it.
Don't mind him.
How much was?
Doc, have the final bite on this, then we can wrap it up.
It's very sad when we are talking about issues like this, because we are in a country where at a time we are struggling with unemployment. We are in a country where we are spending so much on importation, on poultry products, which is also affecting our forex, our foreign exchange, our currency. So if we have such an intention, and then we manage it this way, it's so sad. It tells you how unserious sometimes we can be as a state, as a country. Look, the Nkongazingiti program was dead on arrival. It was so dead on arrival.
Oh, why do you say that? It's a policy. I mean, if it was done well, we would have been praising them.
What is a good policy? What is a good policy? I mean, it's not about the plan. Conceiving an idea. It's about the planning. It's about execution. It's about making sure it achieves its purpose. And so I agree with all the things we have said. What were the benchmarks? What were the KPIs with the policy? Look, we are spending about 380 million USD every year importing poultry. $380 million and over every year importing poultry products. Okay, now how much did we need for the emergency for the flood? It's not the same 350 million US dollars.
Yeah.
Yes, we needed that amount of money which we are using to import poultry every year into the country. Okay, and then if you want to now mitigate this excessive importation of poultry by building local capacities, is that the approach that you have to go? Is that the approach you have to use?
Okay.
Where MPs and DCs are sharing this is to who? I mean, like he said it. If I'm a party person and I've gotten this in Nkongazingiti from my DCE, what are you telling me? I mean, in the first place, those who were even given, what were the criteria for the sharing or allocation?
Yeah.
Do they have the structures already to house them? And what kind of interventions were in place? Even the extension officers. What was the framework for the implementation, and what do we expect?
Right.
And so I think they knew that this thing was not going to go anywhere, but just because there was a promise to do Nkongazingiti, it has to be executed. But hey, it's just another way of wasting our money.
So that's how we wrap it up. So Shandoff, all of that is under the Feed Ghana program. Okay, so the grains and vegetable production, Nkongazingiti, and other livestock programs together, that makes the 245 million cedis as you're talking about, the agricultural interventions into the Anthony, so that's what Anthony mentioned, that's not the whole figure, but we know about
the entire program.
But we know the second phase, which will be taking place. What I'm seeing here, well, so because there's supposed to be a second phase, so there needs to be an assessment of the first phase. And then what was not done right,
proper assessment.
Yes, what was not done right would have to be done properly. If not,
I will not encourage any distribution again.
I mean,
we're supposed to have targeted about 60,000 to 80,000 households.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in today. Dr. Parkwesi Edward-Abeido is sustainability consultant and lecturer at UNIMAC, and Shandoff Boama is communications team member for the NPP, and Anthony Nukpenu is Greater Accra Regional Organizer for the NDC, and earlier Richard Suma was the Deputy General Secretary for the United Party. And so this is where we end our conversation on this. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll get to our reporters on the ground about the day 2 of the cleanup exercise. So stay with us here on Metro TV. I'm Desmond Okrekudan, so we'll be back shortly after the break.
And there they are. The squad is ready. Lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth and fresh breath.
I want to miss you.
Repacho Bantama.
Matias.
It's her smile. The fresh breath.
Me Jidi say we use Kel 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Kel 360 toothpaste.
Gaskia. Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasan.
Kile kosen. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
Hey, you will see so feeling ye. Kel 360 toothpaste. Happy smile.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302-998-246 or 0561-032-252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson,
me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friendly once now.
Hey, that's on you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action.
Sasso spray. Mr. Friendly Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Come on, Tom Preco.
The pulse of a nation, rising, unshaken. When the Black Stars take the world stage, we don't just play, we bring the storm. Fuel the dream. Support the Black Stars. Storm Energy Drink. Make your mark. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Chaco toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Chaco toothpaste. Kel Chaco toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, se metwa sapapadia to ama me manfo. Kel Chakos natural ingredients. Eno bo me se ho ban. E ma ne sren ne sanso mama hotoso e wo bedwam.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking Publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event ground and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
Next season on the Gen Z show.
I want to have you eaten and you tell me no. What to eat?
My name is Lakisha. Join me and my guest live on Metro TV socials, Facebook, TikTok, IG, every Saturday at 12 noon. What's happening in our world as Gen Zs? Who is getting dragged? What the bloggers are saying? The latest settings in town. And of course, what's given and not given. And yes, why are Gen Zs getting fired in our corporate jobs in America?
Oh, hey Robin, how's everything?
Hey, everything's fine. I just wanted to let you know I won't be coming in today.
Really? Make a date with me on the Gen Z show, because I'm not doing this without you. Come on. Oops! Do you like what you see? Yes, because this season is about to get more dramatic.
Why are you talking to another girl?
She's not real. It was an AI girlfriend. Okay, I won't.
So yes, I've got some interesting topics you wouldn't hear from anyone on the dating sites. The Gen Z show, I got you.